in crowds. Health experts warn the coronavirus is still a serious disease. Over 400 people in the U.S. died from COVID on Sunday.
Family members of Mark Frericks and U.S. officials saying the American contractor held hostage in Afghanistan for more than 2 years by the Taliban has been released in exchange for a convicted Taliban drug lord jailed in the U.S. Hurricane Fiona roaring across the Dominican Republic after knocking out power across all of Puerto Rico and causing damage the governor says is catastrophic. A stalled vehicle, 44 eastbound past Vandeventer Avenue. It is on the left shoulder. There's a stall 70 westbound past Bermuda Road. That stall on the right shoulder. The KMOX forecast, sponsored by Metro Transit, mostly sunny, hot, and humid this afternoon. The high 96. It'll feel more like 100 right now. Sunny 81. Feels like 85. Hey, mechanics, quick question. You getting paid what you're worth? No? Let's change that. Metro Transit is now hiring mechanics, starting pay over $30 an hour. Full benefits, 401k, signing bonuses, and more. Visit work@metrostl.com and get your worth. I'm Carol Daniel, KMOX News.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing. Fruits and vegetables are very environmentally friendly foods. Make them even more friendly by eating them in season. Join Odyssey, and together each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
How's your mental health? I'm listening with Michael Phelps.
You know, I think for me in 2014, when I found myself in that dark place where I didn't want to be alive in those 4 days when I was in my room by myself, I wanted to find a different way. I wanted to find a different answer. I was sick and tired of feeling how I felt. And that's why I started to seek help. And that's when I checked myself into a treatment center.
Join us for Odyssey's I'm Listening 2-hour national mental health conversation, Wednesday, September 21st at 6 p.m. Talk saves lives.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends Mark and Neil Gelman from thegelmanteam.com. If you want immediate cash for your home or to see what your home is actually worth in today's market, find out for free from the local experts. That's my friends Mark and Neil Gelman at thegelmanteam.com.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Disasters, floods, crisis. These events can take a toll on your health. Stress, anxiety, and other symptoms are common reactions after a disaster. Show Me Hope, Missouri's crisis counseling program, has free and confidential support for anyone impacted by the severe floods that struck St. Louis in July. Our disaster distress helpline provides immediate crisis counseling. Visit moshowmehope.org to get connected to local providers. Brought to you by the Missouri Department of Mental Health.
Hello, I'm John Rooney. Do you have an old car taking up room in the driveway? Repairs are costly. It's a hassle to sell. Well, here's an idea. Donate it to Goodwill. Donating a car to Goodwill is quick and towing is free. Plus, you'll get a tax receipt. It's easy. You can even donate online. So dig out the title for that old car and visit mersgoodwill.org to donate online or call MERS Goodwill at 314-241-3464. Give hope, give local. Give Goodwill.
Got a special for you from Beast Plumbing on reverse osmosis systems. In the month of September, $100 off for your home or business. Reverse osmosis systems produce cleaner water, it saves you money, and are better for the environment. $100 off reverse osmosis systems. Don't miss out. Plus, Beast Plumbing is growing by leaps and bounds, and they are hiring for many positions. You will love the culture they offer. Check it out, BEISplumbing.com, or call them 314-698-1154. Tell them both sent you to Beast Plumbing.
Swing and a miss for a Redbird winner. Your St. Louis Cardinals are seeking yet another Central Division championship.
The magic number is 8.
KMOX is Cardinals Radio.
Stop it. Stop it. Back in on the show. It's 10:36. Chris Rodgers,
Have
Kevin
some
Wheeler
respect.
here. I had respect when this was happening 8 days ago. The fact that it's still going on is still pretty annoying.
Oh.
And by the way, not just to me. Saw this story yesterday. Interestingly, anti-monarchy sentiment has exploded since the Queen passed away. I saw a story on Vice. They looked into the number of, like, not bots. Like, this isn't about bots doing anything. This is about, like, regular people commenting, hashtagging not my king, no more, abolish the monarchy. It's gotten a lot more play in politics there. And I don't know if it's just because it's an opportunity. You know what I mean? Like the world's paying attention and it's an opportunity to get your message out. Or if it's about Charles taking over, like people liked Elizabeth and they don't like Charles. I don't know really what's at the root of it all, but it feels like a lot of people. And by the way, we're talking about people in the UK, not dopes like me, not people here. I've always thought the whole royalty thing is dumb. I thought our fascination with it is dumb. I think it's dumb to shut down your entire country for 10 days. And like today, I read a couple of different pieces today where a guy that works in construction is self-employed. And he's like, yep, because she died, I don't get paid because everything has stopped. And they shut down the national healthcare system. So all these people are like, wait a minute, hold on. I've been waiting months to get in to see this doctor. My one of them was my daughter's been waiting to see a specialist for months. And now everything's shut down. Nobody can go to their healthcare appointments. And who knows when they're going to get rescheduled? Because if you've ever tried to reschedule even a simple physical, I had to reschedule because of conflicts a couple times. It took me 8 months to get in after just 2 postponements because I couldn't do it. I had to travel and something happened. I can't remember exactly what they were. I think one of them was when I had to go when my mom had the heart attack. Coincidentally, I had to skip my physical for that. And it took months and months. I'm not blaming anybody, just how it is, right?
Yeah.
Like getting scheduled appointments is not easy. And that's all what's going on there. And I think that's all feeding what we're hearing in this reporting of kind of this anti-monarchy sentiment. And it's not everybody, because clearly we heard from the 2 people in the open who are like, yep, seeing the Queen's coffin was even cooler than having our kids. So I get it. Like
maybe their kids suck.
I don't know. But I mean, I get that there are clearly fans of the monarchy.
Yeah.
And I mean in the UK and obviously worldwide. But clearly there is, at least people are maybe feeling more open about saying this is ridiculous. Why are we doing this?
It probably is an opportunity. I don't think that it's new sentiment. It's just more vocal sentiment now.
Yeah.
And there may be a lot of people who were tolerating the monarchy for this entire time because she was, she was likable to them. And she had been around for so long and I guess was a comforting presence for much of the country that they felt like we weren't going to disrespect her. But now that she's gone and we don't really like Charles all that much, we're ready for this to be over. And I could see that maybe that's why it's more of a vocal thing now. I wonder what the percentage of people in the country is, though, that is comfortable with the monarchy as it exists. And because they still do have democracy there. I mean, people do get to choose leaders. They do get to vote. The monarchy is just part of all of that. So it's not like it's all powerful. There's no absolute power that goes with the monarchy. But I'm sure that there are a lot of people there who have been done with it for a long time and see this as a chance to further that discussion.
And, I think a lot of this comes down. I know I don't have any stake in it. Doesn't affect me in any way.
No.
My weirdness with the concept of royalty has to do with just a lack of perspective, right? Like, okay, we're going to shut down services, national services. We're going to shut down business.
Yeah.
Because somebody who was 90-something-year-old passed away. Like, again, we can memorialize and respect and do all of that without forcing an entire country to stop, without costing people their paychecks, without people having to reschedule important medical appointments. And this is why I can't, like, if you're the royal family, how can you hear about that and be like, yep, that's fine. We all need to be paying attention to us.
Well,
Like, that lack of awareness is what bothers me the most.
Yeah. And it's extremely possible. In fact, likely that's not something they're thinking about. That if they knew it was going to result in people losing income or people losing health, you would think so. But a monarchy, a lot of times, and really,
and by the way, this is why I argue against them, because if you don't know that,
but
you shouldn't be having any kind of position.
Kevin, there are a lot of people in our government that are insulated from real people.
Yeah, and I yell at them too.
Yeah, so I'm not. I don't think it's just monarchy, is what I'm saying. I think I think leaders, depending on where you are and who you are.
At least the ones here, we can vote out if we don't like them.
Yeah, but the problem is a lot of them
paying them $200 million a year.
You're right, except that we do have a system that kind of once you're voted in a lot of areas, you can't lose your job ever because of districts and the way they're drawn.
Good point.
So,
also, we may not pay them $200 million a year, but they're allowed to trade on insider information.
What a absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
That is absolute
I hate
nonsense.
that more than royalty bothers me.
Yeah.
But like to me, I guess the larger theme with all of this is I don't like people who, and anybody worldwide, doesn't matter who you are. I don't like it when people that have positions of authority, especially if they didn't earn it, if they were just born into it, taking advantage of it and using it against us because they either don't know or don't care what impact they're having.
So I would hope, and from the sounds of it, there isn't a plan in place for the people who are going to lose income today and who have lost already income, or people who have
the Royals could cut them a check.
They could.
They've got the money.
They could. What they could do is there could be like a program where you say, hey, I lost this amount of income. You prove what you normally get on a given day of work. Send it in. They cut you a check. That's the way it should be. Doesn't sound like they're doing that.
Say, what do you think the odds are of that actually happening?
0.5.
So last year, the citizens of the UK paid the royal family in various forms about 160 million euros. So they get a certain amount of money that goes to their quote unquote sovereign fund or whatever. I don't know what the hell that even means, but it was like almost 70 million for that. It was $80 million for upkeep on their properties.
Yeah.
80 million euros, I should say, but it's dollars basically. And then another 5 million for royal travel. I mean, we're talking about, again, $160 million of taxpayer money for rich people who don't need it.
Well, they got a big lawn. Someone's going to have to cut it.
They can pay for it.
That's what they're doing with that money you're talking about.
The property that they own is worth like $40 billion. They're billionaires.
Yeah.
And again, we do the similar thing here. It's not royalty here. Here, it's just about influence. You're more, you can be in Congress, you can be a president, whatever. And when you're done, well, you can be on this board of directors and get paid, and that board of directors and get paid. And oh, by the way, keep up with that insider trading. That's totally cool when you're in Congress. But if you're Martha Stewart, you're going to go to jail.
Right. Right. Which it's almost, to be honest, it's almost kind of amazing she went to jail, because there are so many white collar criminals that just skate.
Yeah.
They always skate.
Oh, the Sacklers.
But we're going to get
look at the Sacklers. They pay a fine.
Yeah.
But they break the law. People die. They don't none of them go to jail.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to trash the royal family. You can think it's a weird concept, and I understand that, but I also understand the value in it as well, even though it's not I don't think it's the best way to run a country. I don't think having monarchy is the best way. Democracy is much better. People should have a say in what happens. And again, England has that too. People are allowed to vote. So it's not like they are ruled by an absolute power. I get all of that, but man, we got issues here too.
Yes.
We are, this government, and especially the way it's been operating the last several years, where there's so much division that they can hardly get together and work on anything. And you might have some people who are really, truly trying to work for something good that would help people, help the country. And then you have opponents who will do whatever they can to stop them just because.
Yeah.
Just because they are bought. They are bought by people who have money and have influence.
That's a really good point. You guys can text anytime you want, 314-436-7900. 314 says, really? You're going to pick today to badmouth the royal family? A, they're not listening. B, they don't care what I think. They don't care what anybody thinks. That's the point. Why are we worried about badmouthing people that wouldn't give any of us the time of day? If one of us was lying in the street, dying when they were walking by, they would walk right past us. Every one of them would. They wouldn't stop for a second. And I'm going to worry about their feelings? Nope.
I think Diana would have stopped for you. Margaret seems like she would have too. Or Anne.
You're probably right. You're probably right. And that's the one that they didn't like.
Yeah, that's true.
That makes my point. Good job, Runch.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well done. All right, we're going to tell you what's trending coming up in just a couple of minutes here on the show on KMOX.
Darren Bailey isn't popular with the political establishment of either party because he's from the real world.
I'm proud to be a family farmer. We get up before the sun comes up, and we work until after it goes down. We fix things that are broken. We solve problems, and we grow things. And I love to remind people what farmers do. They feed the world.
Like you, Bailey knows what hasn't worked.
Decade after decade of mismanagement in Springfield, back-to-back billionaire governors, and where has that gotten us?
Bailey got involved in state politics by opposing the income tax increase signed by the previous Republican governor, and then led the opposition to the income tax increase proposed by the current Democrat governor, because high taxes are driving families from Illinois. We tried billionaires from both parties. They left us with high taxes, high unemployment, and high crime rates. How much worse does it have to get before we give a practical problem solver a try? Paid for by people who play by the rules pack.
For garage door repair, St. Louis calls the real Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. They're the ones with the red ribbon. They're the ones who've been here since 1926. Others try to copy the name, but they cannot match the level of service. The red ribbon means 94 years of trust and loyalty from St. Louis homeowners. Always look for the red ribbon. It means you've got the genuine, the original Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Call 314-781-5200.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. If your home's important to you, check out my friends at Banner Construction. If you're looking for windows, you should know that Banner is a James Hardie Elite Preferred Contractor. James Hardie Fiber Cement Siding has the rich look and feel of wood. And Banner's also a Platinum-certified Pella window contractor. Those Pella windows are beautiful, and they come with a 30-year warranty. One of the safest investments you can make today is an exterior renovation to your home. And Banner Homes have timeless beauty, striking curb appeal, and ultra-low maintenance. If you take pride in your home, trust it to the team of experts at Banner Construction. My friends at Banner have engineered their projects to go beyond the basic low-cost solutions. That's more than 25 years of experience. And now is the perfect time to plan for this important project and do what the Brennans do. Call on the experts at Banner. They're ready to help. Call 314-569-1050 or online, bannerconstruction.com.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No, we tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured, so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly, different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
The World Trade Center St. Louis is hosting its annual Growing Global Luncheon Friday, September 30th at the Ritz-Carlton in Clayton. With the successful launch of direct flights to Europe, Growing Global 2022 will explore international connectivity and the value and impact of connecting our community and businesses in a 21st century global economy. Registration and sponsorships are available at worldtradecenter-stl.com. Reserve your spot now and join us for Growing Global September 30th.
Get started with the Vision Walk today and form your Vision Walk team to raise money for a cure. For more information, go to visionwalk.org or call 314-852-7223.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan with great news from Old Town Donuts. Pumpkin donuts are served daily till Thanksgiving at Old Town Donuts. You can get a dozen donuts under $10 with a coupon from the website oldtowndonuts.com. Old Town Donuts in Florissant and Cottleville.
Men suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, regardless of age or past medical history, you'll see instant results on your first visit at Paramount Men's Medical Center. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free. Call now, 314-720-8081.
Summer Bonanza means more business in the fall months? Hire right with Indeed. Their integrated solution lets you schedule and conduct video interviews all in one place. Finding your next great hire has never been this easy. Get hiring at Indeed.com/credit.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
This is the show.
The show continues on KMOX.
What is it? What's happened?
What's going on? What do you know?
What just happened?
What happened?
I need to know.
Trending now on the show.
All right, Trending is sponsored by Old Town Donuts in Florissant and Cottleville. What do you think the number one trend is, Raj?
The Queen?
Yeah, so we're going to move right past that.
Okay.
We already touched on that.
Kevin.
The other one is always one of my favorites. It's the Monday Motivation. Monday Motivation.
Oh, tell me what there is.
Let's see. Do we have any good ones here?
Probably not.
No, not really. They're all. I mean, obviously, it's the same ones, like every single week. Although there is one. Have you seen the parody account, the Iron Sheik?
Yes.
So there's a wrestler from
And he
back in the
tweets
day.
in all caps, doesn't he?
He tweets in all caps.
Yeah.
Swears a lot, so I can't really read it.
Right.
And again, Iron Sheik was a heel in wrestling back in the day, right? I know he was obviously in the time when it was like, well, because I think it was him and then a Russian dude, Nikolai Volkov.
Don't remember that at all.
They were like tag team partners because who did we hate? We hated Iran and we hated Russia.
That's right.
And then the other would be like Hulk Hogan kicking their asses.
Yeah, right.
Like I was thinking, well, somebody does the Iron Sheik as a parody account, and the hashtag Monday Motivation is wake the blank up. Don't be a dumb blankety blank jabroni. Be a champion of the earth. Otherwise, go blank yourself forever. That's the Monday Motivation. From the Iron
That's not what the heck.
That's the best Monday Motivation I've seen because at least it made me laugh. Another one says, behind every successful person, there's a lot of unsuccessful years and apparently bad grammar too.
That's true.
There's a lot of unsuccessful years.
That is very true.
My man, there are a lot of unsuccessful years. Good thing that right, like most of us don't need good grammar because I talk good too. I make my own mistakes. I'm just making fun. But that's the kind of Monday motivation stuff that I can't stand. Like,
you don't feel motivated. You should feel motivated.
It's the most obvious thing in the world. If you want to motivate people, don't tell them the most obvious thing in the world.
Be motivated to be better. And also be motivated to get your pumpkin spice latte, Kevin. It is pumpkin spice season.
Oh, no.
And you just heard it during the Old Town Donuts spot that we played. You heard Charlie's voice talking about Old Town Donuts, which also sponsors this. They got a pumpkin spice donut.
Okay, that's brilliant.
That is, hey.
First of all, pumpkin.
I'm on board.
Pumpkin bread, pumpkin donuts, pumpkin pie. These things are great.
Well,
but things that aren't supposed to be pumpkin-y, because those are made of pumpkins, like they're meant to be that way. I get a little bit over the top of that.
It is. What about pumpkin spice goldfish? Because they have it. There is pumpkin spice Greek yogurt, which I can get down with.
I don't like Greek yogurt.
Pumpkin spice Jello pudding. How about that? Obviously, Starbucks and all the pumpkin spice that you get at all the coffee shops. I love it. Pumpkin spice gelato, pumpkin spice English muffins. Like, we're well into pumpkin spice season, Kevin. It's been going on for a couple of weeks. And I know there are all the tough guys out there like, oh, go get your pumpkin spice. Yeah, I'm going to go get my pumpkin spice. And what are you going to do about it? You're going to shut the hell up while I enjoy my pumpkin spice latte. You're not a tough guy because you're depriving yourself of pleasure. Pumpkin spice is great. How about pumpkin spice cotton candy? Can you get down with that?
I think no. I think the opposition to it is less about the existence of it. It's more about just like, okay, we're starting. It's 93 degrees today.
That's right.
It's not the fall. Let's stop being like, it's almost the season.
Wait till Thursday when the high is going to be upper 60s.
Okay.
That's a perfect day to go get your pumpkin spice cheesecake cookies.
Oh, those are good. See, again, a lot of these things are good. I think the opposition that people have to it, though, is like we try to advance the season too early. Like already people like, got to get your Halloween. All the Halloween stores are up and running. Like,
well, yeah.
And then, of course, as soon as Halloween's over, Christmas is going to start. It's just the overwhelming earliness of it. I don't really think it's the thing itself that bothers people.
Hey, Christmas can start right now for all I care.
Stop it.
Let's go. I cannot wait. I love Christmas time.
I do too. When it's Christmas time?
Well,
yeah, like in December, woohoo, let's go.
November.
When it's September, nope.
But
October, nope.
Until then, I'm going to enjoy my pumpkin spice Kit Kats.
Ugh, that sounds horrible.
How about pumpkin spice Cheerios?
No thanks. I mean, they're probably not horrible, but no thanks.
Pumpkin spice pretzels?
Yes, I'll do that.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be the one I would not like.
Yeah, I'd do that.
I don't like pretzels that much.
Anything works with pretzels, man.
I like soft pretzels. Those are good.
Yeah.
I don't like bags.
You don't like the crunchy ones?
Not really.
Oh, they're both good, just good in different ways. All right, guys, we got a big announcement coming up after the news. Apparently, pandemic's over. Party on, bros.
Spark Co-working St. Louis is a new collaborative workspace located within the PwC Pennant Building in Ballpark Village. The Spark Co-working community supports the thriving St. Louis entrepreneurial ecosystem, where you can live, work, and watch the Cardinals play all within one district. The all-inclusive workspace includes furnished month-to-month offices and suites with stadium, city, and arch views, concierge mail service, nitro cold brew coffee on tap, and so much more. Call 314-278-5297 or visit spark-stl.com. I'm here for Pioneer Brand Seeds, a block away from another ag company's corporate office. This company concentrates their breeders here in one centralized location. That's not how Pioneer works. Our breeders are located where their test plots are. That way, Pioneer corn breeders gain insights about what does and doesn't work for a local geography in real time. Ask your local Pioneer sales representative about field-proven Pioneer brand corn hybrids. And like our breeders, they're located near you.
Hey, KMOX listeners, Roger Wigginton here at Don Rogers Limited, 6727 West Main in Belleville. Well, if the early fall sales are any indication of how the rest of the season is going, it's going to be wonderful. Our customers are really responding to our wonderful selection, great styling, fabulous fabrics, and they are coming in every day checking out the new fall lines. And gals, I got to tell you about our fine whale corduroy pant that we just got in 5 colors from Tribal, European pull-on waist, great colors. The fit is unbelievable, and it works back with our great selection of sweaters that we have from Charlie B, Lulu B, Renoir, Tribal, and Ethel. The store looks absolutely incredible. We're getting new arrivals every day. We've got all the latest stylings. So as always, we invite you to stop by Don Rogers Limited. We're open Monday through Saturday, 9:30 to 4. Park at the door, walk in, get waited on. As always, we thank you so very much for listening to our commercials.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is Corey from Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling, here to tell you about an organization that is near to dear to our company and one we've been proud to sponsor, Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Greater St. Louis Honor Flight flies World War II, Korea, and Vietnam War veterans to Washington, D.C. for free to see their memorials. Greater St. Louis Honor Flight is looking for you. If you know of a veteran, please sign them up for their honor flight. Or if you'd like to lend your support, visit gslhonorflight.org. And for all things heating and cooling, visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Tom Ackerman for Building Community with Busey Bank, a podcast series easily accessible at kmox.com/community banking. This summer, the Little Bit Foundation lost their huge warehouse and headquarters in the flood. It's both a heartbreaking and inspirational story, with Busey and the community helping. Listen to our September podcast, Building Community with Busey Bank, at kmox.com/community banking.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news, KMOX.
At 11 o'clock right now, we've got a sunny sky. It's 82 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour. The people of Britain have been saying goodbye to Queen Elizabeth in the biggest state funeral there in 6 decades. CBS's Vicky Barker reports from London.
Windsor Castle, a final farewell to Britain's longest reigning monarch, King Charles III. His face drawn, stood with his royal siblings and sons William and Harry as the royal hearse entered the castle courtyard. Then they walked in procession to St. George's Chapel, where the Queen was to be buried alongside her husband and 10 other monarchs. A final personal touch waiting on the steps of the castle, 2 of the Queen's beloved corgis. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
The Missouri Legislature's Friends of the UK caucus officially expressed condolences to the British royal family. Derek Greer heads the caucus.
We have a lot of businesses and companies here in Missouri that sell products in the United Kingdom, and we certainly have a lot of companies from the UK that do business in Missouri. Looking for, as the chair of the Economic Development Committee, I was looking for opportunities and ways that we could strengthen some of those relationships as one of our top trading partners.
To show support and solidarity, there'll be a delegation traveling to Chicago later this month to take part in a Thanksgiving service at St. James Church. City fire crews attacked flames coming from a two-story business in the Lafayette Square neighborhood early this morning.
This is Stuart McMillan outside Vin Descent, a rooftop bar and bistro off Shoto. There was a fire here this morning. Fire and flames, smoke billowing out of the building's second floor and the roof. You can tell by all of the windows being opening, they're trying to get the smell of smoke out. You can smell it even across the street, but the strong brick building does not show any signs of decay even after the massive fire.
Ukraine is calling a Russian missile struck close to a nuclear plant an act of nuclear terrorism.
The Russian missile strike in southern Ukraine hit other industrial equipment close to the nuclear power plant, but did not damage its 3 reactors. The strike follows warnings from Russia's president on possible stepped-up attacks on key Ukrainian infrastructure after his forces suffered humiliating battlefield setbacks. According to Ukraine's nuclear operator, the missile struck just 300 yards from the plant. Footage released by Ukraine's Ministry of Defense shows 2 large fireballs erupting one after the other in the dark, followed by incandescent showers of sparks. I'm Julie Walker.
The First Mid-Bank and Trust Business Desk, American Express needs tech workers.
American Express is on the hunt for software engineers, coders, and developers. It's part of a 1,500-person hiring spree for its technology arm. Spending on Amex's network has roared back this year. Customers have returned to traveling and dining out after a couple of years of pandemic-related lockdowns. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
And let's take a look at traffic now. We've got a stall on 170 north before Page on the right shoulder, 170 north at I-270 on the right shoulder, 44 west past Van Eventer on the right shoulder. And the weather.
This afternoon, hot and humid, mostly sunny. Temperatures time the record high of 96 back in 1955. Real feels around 100 degrees. Warm tonight, low 75. Hot again tomorrow, high of 98. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Matt Benz on the Voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
Sunny and 84 in Florissant, 88 in St. Peter's, 82 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Sponsored by True Law. Learn more at sickvets.com.
If you were stationed at Camp Lejeune, you and your family may be victims of toxic water poisoning. You could be awarded financial compensation, but you must act now. Call 877-560-8555 for your free case review or visit sickvets.com. That's sickvets.com.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
The pandemic is over. We still have a problem with COVID. We're still doing a lot of work on it. But the pandemic is over. If you notice, no one's wearing masks. Everybody seems to be in pretty good shape. And so I think it's changing, and I think this is a perfect example of it.
There you go. That's the president on 60 Minutes last night, so it's official. Ron, it's official.
Masks off, baby.
I mean, let's be honest.
I haven't seen a mask in 4 years.
I mean, that's not entirely
That's
true.
not true. People are still being careful.
But the truth is that the vast majority of us had already reached that conclusion. Not that you don't have anything that you're paying attention to. You might be a little, but in all honesty, I'm doing a lot of what I did 2018, 2019. I mean, I've had COVID twice, separated by almost a year. Neither case was bad. I understand though it's not always that way. I mean, apparently still have 500 people a day dying from COVID. But again, it's not where it was before, right? It's not where it was where we were worried that emergency rooms were being overrun, that more people than what we're seeing now would be getting sick all the time. They do forecast there's going to be a bump when the weather turns because people are going to be inside and around each other more rather than outside.
And also not getting shots.
Sure, absolutely.
The flu shot is very important. And I really didn't used to do it all that often. I started doing it more I got the flu in like 2017.
Yeah.
And I used to get it every few years, but not regularly. And that time I got it, I thought, okay, that's it. I'm not doing this. So I'll just skate by for the next few months and be okay. So I've been getting flu shots for the last 5 years, and I'll do it again. But I think because of all of the rhetoric over the last 2 years about vaccines and how they're dangerous and all that nonsense, people generally aren't getting shots. We just talked to somebody, wasn't it last week? We spoke to somebody who's an expert in this field, or 2 weeks ago it might have been, who said that's one of the problems you face when you have this silly anti-vaccination rhetoric, that people don't get other ones done that they're supposed to get done.
Which one we talked about polio.
Yes.
Which was last week, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Because polio's back.
Mhm.
And there's no reason for polio to be back.
Mhm.
That's just completely outrageous. So if you're not going to get your COVID vaccine, you're probably not going to get your flu vaccine either. I think most people, if they're not going to do one, are not going to do the other.
I wonder. Yeah, I mean, I understand. I'm with you. I mean, I think that, when I found out that like 98% of physicians get the vaccine, I'm like, all right, that's a pretty good sign.
Yeah.
I'll do what they're doing.
Yes.
And what's most interesting to me about this, though, is just like, what's the point of making that announcement now?
I think it's a political thing.
You think?
I
think.
think.
First of all, it's a political figure, so yes, of course.
Well,
it's definitely going to be that.
A political figure can make a public health declaration for the sake of public health only, and I believe there were a lot of people who were doing that in the early stages of COVID. But I think 2 years later, when everybody has pretty much, for the most part, not that it's not all people, but there are a lot of people, as you mentioned. I'm going about my business as usual. I don't know if it's the best idea, but I'm doing it. You're doing the same thing. I know some immunocompromised people who are kind of going about their business as well. And sometimes they'll wear masks whenever they're around others or a lot of other people. But for the most part, we've kind of moved on from that, I think, a long time ago. And I believe what he did in saying that yesterday on 60 Minutes is, I think it was a political calculation, because if he were to say, hey, the pandemic isn't over yet, you're going to turn some people off who are tired of the pandemic and tired of the talk. But from where my perspective, I don't think you do. I don't think you do say that kind of thing, because as soon as you say it, people who are already reluctant to get vaccinated for it, which is one of the tools that's keeping it from exploding, those people are going to say, well, if it's over, what am I going to get vaccinated for? Like, why would I go get this new one, the bivalent vaccine, which is available to me? Why would I go do that now if the pandemic isn't a thing anymore?
So that's exactly what a researcher said about this. There's a guy named Greg Gonzalez. He works for Yale. His specialty is research and epidemiology for infectious disease. So this is what he studies. And this is also, by the way, somebody, I'm reading a thread that he posted on Twitter, who was volunteered to help with the transition from President Trump to Biden. So this is somebody that in other ways has been okay with the administration. This is not a hater. This is not somebody that's
right,
trying to just take shots. And he essentially said what you just touched on is, by saying this, you're now saying nobody needs to do anything about it, right? You're diminishing the need for people to get vaccinated, because that is what brought it under control. It's not a coincidence that when the vaccines came out, that's
COVID
when everything
kind of
started slowing
yes.
down. I mean, there's just not a coincidence. Those two things weren't just like, well, nice happenstance.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, one led to the other, and his position of it was this. And it was nothing more than that, is that when you say it like this for just political reasons, because there's no practical reason to make that declaration. I mean, in fact, this guy compared it to George W. Bush's mission accomplished thing.
That's pretty fair.
Where, okay, the mission was not accomplished, as we found out 20 years later, because the stuff was still going on.
Yeah.
And in this case, sure, it's better. We're not nobody's shut down. Nobody's just staying in their houses. I mean, it's a lot better. And if you wanted to say like we've reached a different stage or something along the lines, but I don't, and this is not my take on it. This is an epidemiologist, somebody who researches infectious disease, saying what I'm saying. I'm just basically passing along what he has in a long Twitter thread explaining why he thought it was a mistake to come out and say that last night. And it's a good point. I mean, because here's what he says. I'll just read this part here. He said, it's akin to President Bush's mission accomplished moment from 2003 and will be remembered as such, but maybe with more scorn in history because it's still here at home, not overseas. He said, saying this is Greg Gonzalez, who is a research and epidemiologist for infectious diseases at Yale. He said, saying the pandemic is over gets no one vaccinated, no one boosted. Saying it's over gets no one access to care and treatment if they have no insurance. Saying it's over doesn't refurbish the ventilation in a single school building. And he goes on and on and on and talks about these things that still need to be addressed, not just for COVID, but for other reasons too, for better health, like the ventilation systems that we're talking about. And I'm not expert enough. This is somebody that researches these things, so that's why I'm pointing them out. It's not my take. It's just what he's saying. And I think that's why when you do something like you did last night purely for political points, that's a problem. You shouldn't be doing anything or saying anything just to look better.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think it was a mistake. I don't think that's what he probably should have said is something along the lines of, the pandemic is not over, but it's something we can manage if people do this, this, and this. But we are not in the same place we were 2 years ago, where we're on lockdowns. We haven't had lockdowns. We don't have a whole lot of restrictions. We have some here and there, but nothing that is a major inconvenience for a lot of people. So we're moving into a different phase of this. Hell, I'm not the president or the communicator, and I just did it better. I just gave that message better. We still need to get vaccinated. We still need to do these things. It's not over, but it is manageable.
I mean,
and that's the place we wanted to be.
Things are clearly better, right? I mean, like, we can easily say that. We can easily say that we now have some control.
Right.
We now have some control over what was not controlled 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. Whatever. I can't. It all blends together. But we can easily do that and not make the bull, because to me it's almost like trying to take credit, right? Like, it's a pat on the back. Hey, we licked this thing, we got it. Like, no, it's still something being managed. It's not a crisis anymore. Maybe that's the word. Maybe the word is, okay, pandemic. There's no crisis anymore. We have some control, but we still need to pay attention to whatever.
That's all you had to say. And we have a texter from a 314. Did you know, in all caps, doctors in the late 20th century suggested it was better to allow your body to build natural immunities by contracting the virus. Well, he said contacting the virus. I think he meant contracting the virus. This one has a 99.6% chance of survival. Well, a couple of things there. I think we know more than the late 20th century doctors did. That's number one. And number two, 0.4% of the population is 1.3 million people.
It's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. So we're okay with just 1.3 million people dead. So knock that crap off. This nonsense. 99% survival. Yeah, that's like 3 million dead people.
I mean, if you want to just disregard them.
I mean, fine. Then, okay, this texter is just disregarding 1.3 million people. Okay, that's your choice. You can do that. You can decide that 0.4% of the population dying is okay with you.
Well,
go ahead.
Good to know it's all over, though.
Yep, it's over.
It's all over as of last night. All right, coming up next, we're going to change gears. Obviously, that is serious medical stuff and political stuff. Something happened at Enterprise Center last night.
Oh, no.
It's made some news. It's not tragic, but it was painful. We'll tell you about it.
Blues lost the playoff game?
No.
Oh.
That was months and months ago, Raj.
Oh.
Get to the next on the show.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to The Dave Glover Show and all the news, talk, sports, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at ThrottleNet. These are the genius IT guys that I've been representing for years and years now. We are number one all the time. Best in customer service from Small Business Monthly. Best in cybersecurity, again, Small Business Monthly. We have an average response time. I love this statistic. The average response time in St. Louis in 2020 by IT companies. You have a problem, you reach out to them, hey, I'm all shut down, help me, was 3 hours. If you got back within 3 hours, you were cool. Ours was 1 minute, 57 seconds, and the guys were very unhappy with that. It takes less than 2 minutes for us to address your problems. Here's a huge thing. We are now offering $500,000 in ransom protection to everyone who uses us. This is part of the deal. You don't pay extra for it. So if you happen to be hit and you have to pay. We're going to pay it up to $500,000. Now, this shows you how confident we are because no one under our protection has ever had to pay. Go to throttlenet.com/DGS.
Hi, Kent Newbold for Newbold Toyota. Your car is worth more than ever before, so why trust the damages for your servicing? Come see the factory-trained experts at Newbold Toyota in O'Fallon, Illinois, or newboldtoyota.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
Attention veterans. If you were stationed at Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987, you and your family may be victims of toxic water poisoning. Cancers, birth defects, deadly illnesses have all been linked to the contaminated water. Congress is now holding the government accountable. You could be awarded financial compensation for your suffering, but you must act now. Visit sickvets.com for your free case review by True Law. That's sickvets, like veterans.com. sickvets.com. Visit sickvets.com.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey for my trusted friend and realtor, Gloria Liu, with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria is the agent I've been recommending for years. If you are planning to sell your home in this crazy seller's market, you do not want to leave a single dollar on the table. You'll love working with Gloria. Gloria Liu will guarantee to sell your home at your agreed-to price and time frame, or she will buy it guaranteed in writing. Her secret? Well, Gloria has the buyers. Thousands of ready buyers looking for homes in your price range and in your neighborhood. Lawrence and Shelby sold their St. Louis home in just 3 days at $17,250 over asking price with multiple offers when their previous agent produced 0 results. They chose Gloria over other agents and they were thrilled with the results. You should call Gloria Liu today with any questions. 314-325-6888. 314-325-6888. It's Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Find her online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. gloriahasthebuyers.com.
What do you have for us today, Charlotte?
Charlotte is the little sister of the tooth fairy. Charlotte is the junk fairy.
If you have stuff in your shed that you haven't used in the past 12 months,
yes,
you're not storing stuff, you've got junk.
Turn your storage shed into a shed that you can use again.
Give yourself some space to maneuver.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Hi, this is Steve Butts at the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. This year marks our 60th anniversary serving our clients and friends, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Norbert Butts. As your local independent insurance agency, we've been proud to represent many fine carriers such as Safeco, Travelers, and Progressive. So please give us a call for all your insurance needs. 314-752-2500 or crawfordbutts.com.
Is your bank, brokerage, or your insurance company telling you to buy an annuity? They may have limited access to the best rates available. You need solutions, not someone pitching you a specific product. Call for your complimentary retirement and income book at 844-513-SAFE. That's 844-513-7233. And also join me, Ben Coons, for the Retirement and Income Radio Show, heard here every Saturday at 3 p.m. on KMOX Radio.
Live and local, this is St. Louis's News Radio, KMOX.
It's 11:20 on the show. Chris Ranji, Kevin Wheeler with you here.
Is this a new Posty song? Is that what this is?
I didn't even know people called him Posty until I saw the videos.
What are you talking about? Come on.
I want to. We're going to talk about the unfortunate thing with Post Malone here, because I'm going to go through this. I went through this in stages because when I saw the video last night, I did the thing that a lot of us guys do, and at first you like, whoa, and you laugh a little bit because, well, like when we fall, it's kind of funny. When I fall, people laugh and I laugh. And at first, and then you realize somebody's hurt and you're like, oh, that sucks. I don't want him to be hurt. And then he comes back and performs, which, by the way, is really cool. It is not easy to do what he did last night. Coming back, and, it turns out, I guess, Ranj, that they said there are no broken ribs, right? But there was a part in the stage that was, well, apparently just missing. And as he was walking around doing his thing, singing during the show, he fell into that space.
Yeah.
Landed very awkwardly. Ribs first onto the edge, which you could tell hurt, and he's writhing in pain, and everybody around's like, oh, no. And it was, again, at first you see people like that because we've all fallen like that. I've done that kind of thing a million times. And you're like, That hurts, and you laugh a little bit, kind of like you laugh when Johnny Knoxville falls and gets hurt, and then you realize, oh no, he's not getting up. I hope he's okay. And then when he comes back after all that, I'm like, all right, hey, fist bump, man. Give the guy some credit. He could easily have just shut it down and say, I'll come back another time and we'll do this right. But he toughed it out for a while, got back on stage. So I give him credit. And the funny thing is, I don't listen to Post Malone. I don't listen to his music, but I kind of like him. I don't know why.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't know why. I kind of like him. I know he's done some covers. In fact, the stuff I've liked the best. You ever hear his covers of Nirvana? You ever hear him play that stuff?
I don't know if I have.
Oh, it's good. It's really good.
I don't know if I have.
So I have a lot of respect for the guy.
Yep.
And it's a bummer that he got hurt. And I give him respect for coming back and continuing afterwards. But if you're a fan, if you're at the show, it had to be totally disappointing.
Well, yeah. I mean, because that's the last thing you want to see.
Not to blame him. It's just like you get a big buildup, you're having fun, everybody's singing along, and all of a sudden, uh-oh.
Yeah, and you might be sort of not exactly looking at the stage in the moment, and then you hear everybody make a commotion, then you turn and look, and he's on the ground, and you think, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
How did that happen? Now, I was the same way when I saw it. I thought, oh, God, those are cracked ribs. That has to be. It looked like what it would be like if you didn't realize there was a manhole cover off and you walked into it. Except the hole was a little bit bigger, and it just absolutely...
That was a big empty space in the stage. Somebody really screwed up.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. And he blamed himself for it, so I really appreciate the fact that he didn't throw one of the roadies under the bus. He just kind of said, yeah, I messed up here.
Everything's good. They gave me some pain meds and everything, so we can keep kicking ass on the tour. I just want to apologize to everyone in St. Louis, and I want to say thank you guys so much for coming to the show. And next time I'm around this way, we're going to do a 2-hour show for you so we can make up for the couple missed songs that we missed. And thank you guys for your support, and thank you for your love, and thanks for hanging around, even though I got my ass kicked by myself. So I love you guys so much. Thank you, man. Have a great night.
It's interesting how, like, in case of this, in his case in particular, again, his style of music is not what I care about. It doesn't appeal to me, but I like him, and he's done a lot of interesting stuff. Like he did what do you call it? What do you call it when you team up with someone else?
A collaboration.
A collaboration with Ozzy Osbourne, and it was really good, and he's fun and all that. I mean, I like this guy. I think he's funny. I think he's got a good personality. And I'm not happy that he got hurt, but I do appreciate the way he handled it.
He was on he was on an episode of one of my favorite shows when he was still kind of blowing up, and it's Ghost Adventures, which I've talked about.
He was on that?
Yeah, they took him to was it like it wasn't like a circus, but it was I don't know, some old building, and he was terrified. But he's friends with Zach Bagans, who was the lead guy in Ghost Adventures. So they did a whole thing, and that was like 5 or 6 years ago. Really good episode. Anyway, yeah, I appreciate the dude. I do like a lot of his songs. Yeah. I think he's very, very good. I also loved that the Blues tweeted out. They tweeted out yesterday this Post Malone sustained an upper body injury Saturday, but did return to action. Got to be tough if you wear the blue notes, and he did not disappoint. Glad you're okay, Post Malone. Can't wait to see you back in the Lou.
The first thing I saw after that, too, was also
upper body injury.
Was Blues fans saying, oh, no, does this mean the Blues are cursed for next year? Like, why would it mean that? Because he was wearing a Blues jersey?
Well, if he would have to, I think he would have to, do you call it levying a curse? How do you administer a curse? Is it a levy?
They're not real.
Yeah, I'd ask the GOAT.
Curses are not real.
Ask the GOAT and the Cubs.
That was poor management.
No, I don't know, man. I think
bad ownerships. Bad decisions.
Let me see. How
curses
do you...
are not real.
You don't know that.
They are not real.
Prove it.
Jinxes and curses are not real.
Prove it.
It's not on me to prove it. It's on you to prove that they exist.
No, I think it's on you to prove they don't.
You can't prove a negative, Ron. Come on. You learned this in grade school.
That's not a negative.
What? You're asking me to prove that something doesn't exist. You cannot do that.
Prove that it didn't happen.
You can't prove a negative.
Well,
what part of this is not coming through?
What do you not understand about curses being real? There are like all kinds of
evidence. Let's go.
Like the old wasn't one of the wasn't King Tut cursed?
I don't know if he was.
Maybe
apparently his tomb supposedly was.
That's what it was.
Yeah. But okay, so where's the evidence that it was?
Well, those people died.
Right.
So that's how.
Couldn't have been like they ran into some disease.
No. It was
couldn't have been that there was something funky locked up in there for a couple thousand years.
Nah, it's much easier.
I'm sure it was a ghost curse.
It is. That's it. There you go. It is much easier to explain these things away with a curse.
Yeah.
So anyway, and I think the Blues are going to be just fine because
these two things are not connected, folks. Just chill.
He would have had to curse the Blues himself.
No, it doesn't work.
He would
that
say,
way.
"You are cursed. I hate you for almost killing me."
So silly. How many people do you think tried to curse Tom Brady and the Patriots? How'd that work out?
Well, but then there were the anti-curses. Like there were the people. There were more people protecting Tom Brady.
You're impossible, my man.
I win.
Chris, Roger, and Kevin Wheeler with you. It's the show on KMOX.
This is how legends are made.
Pitch 1 is taken for a strike. Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina have the record of 325 starts.
This is how legends are made.
I'll remember walking in from the bullpen with Yadi and just the crowd going crazy.
It's a great feeling to be on top of that list and doing what we want to.
Congratulations, Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina.
This is how legends are made.
Such a great feeling.
It doesn't get much better than that.
KMOX is Cardinals Radio.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. If you want the best looking home in the neighborhood, call Banner Construction. You should know that Banner is a James Hardie Elite Preferred Contractor. James Hardie Fiber Cement Siding has the rich look and feel of wood. And Banner is also a Platinum Certified Pella Window Contractor. Those Pella windows are beautiful, and they come with a 30-year warranty. Since 1993, my friends at Banner have engineered their projects to go beyond the basic low-cost solutions. That's more than 25 years of experience. And now is the perfect time to plan for this important project and do what the Brennans do. Call on the experts at Banner. They're ready to help. After all, one of the safest investments you can make today is an exterior renovation to your home. And Banner Homes have timeless beauty, striking curb appeal, and ultra-low maintenance. If you take pride in your home, trust it to the team of experts at Banner Construction. Call 314-569-1050 or online, bannerconstruction.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet Store. Do you want to walk and stay healthy, but cannot because you are in pain?
I just had difficulty walking. I could not walk in bare feet at all.
Do you keep buying new shoes and inserts from the drugstore with little or no relief?
I tried all kinds of shoes. It was the arch supports that made the difference from the Good Feet Store.
The Good Feet system fits in all your shoes. So come to the Good Feet Store and become pain-free today.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Deerbergs.
Thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet Store.
At 11:30, it's sunny and 88 degrees downtown at the Arch. St. Louis homicide detectives have been called to the 4000 block of Lexington. Police say a woman was found dead inside of a home. She'd been shot in the head. No other information has been released. Britain and the world are saying a final goodbye to Queen Elizabeth II at a state funeral that's drawn presidents and kings, princes, and prime ministers. Ahead of the service, a bell tolled 96 times. That's once a minute for each year of Elizabeth's life. Hurricane Fiona is roaring over the Dominican Republic a day after knocking out power to all of Puerto Rico and causing damage the governor described as catastrophic. Many people were also left without water service. And right now we've got a stall 170 south past St. Charles Rock Road on the right shoulder, 6440 east on the ramp from Lindbergh. Watch out there. And the weather forecast from AccuWeather will have real feels around 100 today. Temperature could tie the record of 96 from 1955. Clear tonight, warm with a low 75. Tomorrow, sunshine, hot and humid with a high of 98, breaking the record of 97 set in 2017. Real feels will be around 100. Right now it's sunny and 88 in St. Peter's, 84 in Florissant, and 84 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Brought to you by Visit Missouri. What makes for a great vacation depends on who you ask. No matter how you like to get away, Missouri is filled with beautiful destinations and incredible experiences for you to explore. Discover the possibilities at visitmo.com.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Laurie Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
Join us Sundays at 9:30 a.m. for Your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Show me hope, St. Louis, because the stress and anxiety following disasters can be challenging. Show me hope, St. Louis, because you are never alone. Show me hope, St. Louis, because resources from the Missouri Department of Mental Health are available to help you manage stress and get the support you need. If you are impacted by the recent floods in St. Louis, the Show Me Hope Crisis Counseling Program is here with support for yourself or a loved one. Find local providers at moshowmehope.org.
Okay, guys, we got to put our trays up for takeoff.
Where's Dad?
Oh, he's in the back. We could only get 3 seats together.
Daddy has my pillow.
We'll get it later. Can you not put your feet up, please?
Why aren't we going?
We must be in line for takeoff.
Like security?
Well, that was a different line.
I have to go.
We just sat down.
But I have to go.
The seatbelt sign's on.
Why aren't we moving?
Hey, no kicking.
We're just 15th in line for takeoff.
Son of a...
Don't go there. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing. Learn more at GoRVing.com.
Lockheed Martin understands what it takes to accomplish critical missions around the globe. They know it begins with long-standing partnerships rooted in expertise, interoperability, and trust. The most critical missions call for the F-35. It is essential to Allied air power. Across the growing community of F-35 nations, the need for alliance-based deterrence against evolving threats is stronger than ever. Lockheed Martin, your mission is ours.
Swing and a miss for a Redbird winner. Your St. Louis Cardinals are seeking yet another Central Division championship.
The magic number is 8.
KMOX is Cardinals Radio.
11:33 on the show. Chris Raji, Kevin Wheeler here. Amy Marks, of course, out. She is on vacation, and we'll be back here in a couple of days. Raj, we talk a lot about downtown. Of course, we work downtown. You live not too far from downtown. We all spend a lot of time here, whether it's going to Cardinals games, going to dinner, whatever. And, you know, on a regular basis, we have conversations about the problems down here. Whether it's the panhandling, it's drag racing, it's people that have no regard at all for traffic lights or anything along those lines. Much more serious stuff, shootings, car break-ins. I mean, we talk a lot about problems downtown and how to fix them, and really hard to come up with a particular plan that would absolutely fix everything. But we've talked about a number of ideas over time that could make some things better in the short term, while you also work on longer term problems that contribute to all of these issues. And I saw today a story in the Post-Dispatch that one of the next efforts being made, and this is being made by Greater St. Louis Inc., according to the story, they're trying to crack down on the clubs downtown. And I'm curious to see what you think. And by the way, if you're listening and you want to throw in your 2 cents, feel free, 314-436-7900. But essentially what they're trying to do is ban new large clubs in most of downtown. So I guess small clubs are okay. Big clubs are a problem. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm guessing that's what they're seeing.
I guess more people, more problems.
I guess it
would stand to reason, I would think.
More people in one place.
Right, at one time.
As opposed to smaller places in separate spaces. But also they want to require any new drinking establishment to close by 1:30. I find that to be interesting, that the ones that exist aren't being asked to change, but any new ones would have to have some rules. But you had a thought on that. You mentioned something about how places shut down and reopen as something else all the time.
Yeah, that's really it, because you would think, all right, so if you're a club that opens up, typically it's the clubs, not necessarily bars. Bars have a lot of times a longer shelf life as far as being open.
Yeah.
You know, a bar's a bar, right?
Yeah.
But a club, for whatever reason, people who do that kind of thing, they want it they get bored very easily.
The people that go to them.
The people that go to the clubs
Yeah.
get bored very easily. That's why they end up shutting down, retooling, reinventing, or whatever, and then they open back as something different, new decor or whatever, different name. Yeah, because clubs really center around having buzz, and the way to get that buzz is to be new. So maybe that's kind of what they're going for here, and it would make sense to do it that way, but you absolutely cannot, I think anyway, you can't take away a lot of business from a bar that's not really contributing to the problems that are happening on that street. And we have heard a lot about that from people who do live there, who say that it's just absolute madness on Washington Avenue once you get past like midnight or 1 in the morning. And usually that's closer to the weekends than it is during the week, but they still have issues during the week occasionally. I understand from that perspective, especially because it's different now or worse now than it used to be going back 7, 8, 9, 10 years. But you can't really punish a business that is not contributing to those issues. So that's maybe where this is coming from, because the existing bars, and there's one that I've been to down there, and it's a later bar. It's open till 3, and it's, it's just quiet. It's kind of chill. You go in there, and it's not like that I've ever experienced any real problems in there. Not to say there aren't, but I haven't seen them for myself, and I know a lot of people who go there and haven't heard much from them. You want to protect places like that whose livelihoods do count on being open later, because there are some establishments that are open when other industry places close, and then the people who work at those industry places, other bars, restaurants, they'll go there for a nightcap. They'll go there to those places when they're done with their shifts at the other bars and restaurants. So you want to protect them, but you got to find the balance where you're not allowing it to be complete madness all the time.
Yeah, and I'm not really for or against the actions that we're talking about here, because I'm not expert in them, but devil's advocate here. What other reasons would people have to come to downtown other than a baseball game or a hockey game? And I mean at night. I'm not talking about coming to the city to go to City Museum or whatever. I'm talking about that nightlife. Why do people live downtown? People live downtown, I would think, in large part because they like action. They like being around where things are happening. They like knowing that a restaurant is literally downstairs from where they live, or the club or the bar they want to go to is down the block. Like, if you're moving to live on Wash Ave, isn't part of the draw all of those things being there? Well, if not, why would you go there?
Yeah, and that's what one of the people here says, that downtown, and this is not an exact quote, but kind of what they're talking about, if you agree to live in a downtown setting, you probably understand that there's a level of chaos that you're going to get just by virtue of being downtown. Like, that's what a downtown is.
I mean, that's right. I mean, again,
like, if you want quiet, go live in the suburbs.
Or just a little further out of downtown. I mean,
right.
It can be pretty quiet in the Central West End. Like, you don't have to.
It can be.
Yeah, I mean, you're not technically downtown there, but I mean, you can be in the general vicinity and not be where all kinds of things are happening. But again, when you're choosing to live in a place where the draw is the nightlife, or at least a large part of the draw, maybe not the only draw.
What they're trying to do is find a balance between action, good action, and then chaos.
How do you do? That's why I'm
There's
asking.
like absolute chaos where people are getting hurt and it's 3 a.m. and screeching tires and gunshots and that kind of thing.
Why
like
would that be any
that's too
different
far.
at 3 than it is at 1:30?
The longer you drink, I mean,
I'm just saying, like, if you're drunk at 3, you were probably drunk at 1:30.
Yeah, but you're really drunk at 3. Kevin, there's a difference between being tipsy at midnight and being hammered at 3.
Like,
that's 3 hours.
It's a kind of the conversation you have when you're young and people are talking about curfews and they're like, okay, you got to be home at 12, not 12:30. Well, what could happen in that half hour that's any different?
Well, that half hour, nothing, but give me another 2.5 hours.
Here's the thing. I'm not saying that this is an effort that is incorrect. I'm asking questions that pop to mind when I'm asking about this, because again, if people are choosing to live where the action is going to be, clearly we don't want crime. Nobody wants that. And I think that's the focus. The focus shouldn't necessarily be on restricting people that are doing things right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And again, I don't live downtown, so it's not for me to judge. I'm not telling anybody what they should think. Again, I'm asking the question. If you want people to come here and spend their money, which is the point of all of those places, right? For people to make money, does shutting them down earlier help do that? Does it help maintain? And by the way, does it mean they're not going to be down here? Or does it just mean they're going to be, instead of being indoors, they're going to be out in the street even more?
Well, I think
hanging out, drag race, whatever. I mean, like, show me the link that says if you do this, it will cut down on the other things, and I'm in. I'm all in. I'll believe you. I feel like it's window dressing.
It could be, and it could be a thing where this is just going to go in cycles. Where right now there is a lot of madness at that time, those hours on that street. And I don't know if things are just going to get better on their own. People have to try something. I don't mind them trying this in particular, as long as you're not harming the already established places that have been there and are not contributing to the problems. You can't do that to them.
But how do you pick and choose? How do you say?
Well, that's what they've done. Here, at least, they've said nothing new. No new place that's going to open is going to get that 3 a.m. license. That ain't happening. Maybe that will cut down on it.
Again, I would love if it's true. I would like to see the research that points to closing 90 minutes earlier, making this a better situation. I feel like it's we got to do something.
Yeah.
This is a doable thing. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not affecting anybody already in business. So all it's going to do is affect people that might want to do business down the road.
Right.
So I understand why it's a doable thing. I'm just not convinced by what I've read that this will have any impact at all.
I don't know the answer to that question, and you may not know unless they actually do it, and then you can see 2-3 years from now if it worked. That's about the best you could do at this point.
It isn't, though.
Well, I mean, for this, and by the way, this isn't the only
hiring more police officers and
that would help.
Having a more of a presence in those problem spots, or near those problem spots, would likely have a greater impact than closing 90 minutes earlier if you're a new business, but not if you already exist. Because if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but the problems exist already with the places that exist already. So if nothing in that regard is going to change,
what
are we actually going to find out?
You could identify trouble spots because you could tell the people who are down there and who work down there know if there's a certain place that people file out of, and then that's where the trouble usually comes from. You can know that kind of thing. Like, there are certain bars where people file out of the bar and nothing really happens with them.
Yeah.
They all go about their way. But then there are other bars where it's not the same. I mean, you can identify those places.
Well, then
you can't
can you shut them down?
I think you can.
Or you could maybe, again, have a bit more of a presence around those places.
Right.
I mean,
the city has to shut them down.
Right. This is what I'm saying is I'm not against any action. I think it's important to do this.
Right.
There is a safety issue. Things get out of hand, and because the more that happens, the more people are not going to live downtown. And we had a texter already says, you guys are right. Nobody comes downtown anymore except for an event, a show, a hockey game, a baseball game, whatever. If you want that to change, well, then this dynamic has to change too. Whether it's people moving downtown to live there or just to come down and go to one of these clubs or to go to a restaurant that's down in that area where you can sometimes have problems. And I'm not sure that this is something that changes that dynamic. You know what I'm saying?
No, I fully know what you're saying.
Okay.
And I don't know if there's any data on that. I don't know how you can prove that it would or would not have an effect. The most you can do is try it.
But closing the places where the problems happen the most.
Yeah, that would be a start.
Would seem like a better starting place. But again, I don't know the difficulties of doing that.
Right.
And there's probably going to be lawsuits. And
of course.
Yeah.
And that's probably why they don't do it.
I agree. And I think the idea that something needs to be done is, I think, universally agreed upon, isn't it?
Yes. And the bottom line is we have to find a way to entice people to want to live downtown St. Louis, because that is the first step in getting businesses to return to downtown St. Louis. And then from there, you get more visitors to downtown St. Louis. Because as long as the city is vacant and nobody lives down there and nobody goes there for any other reason than a baseball game or a blues game or a concert, then you have a problem.
Or a soccer match starting next year.
Or, that's right, soccer match.
Yeah.
Because there's no football anymore.
Yeah, but
so that street,
that was only 10 times a year. You know, it's not like it was all the time.
You're right, but I from what I've heard from people who had been down there during the Rams run, that's when the street started to really kind of take off in a good way. Washington Avenue really started to explode with business. And when there's business, people move in. When people move in and live there, then you get visitors, and then you have a thriving area.
All right, so we'll obviously continue to follow this. I'm assuming there's going to be some progress or lack thereof to keep track of here in the coming days and weeks, and we'll let you know if anything new comes along. Coming up next, we want to talk about social media. We talk a lot about it, and we're starting to learn a little bit more about the impact it can have, in particular on young people. We'll hit on that next up on the show.
Spark Co-working St. Louis is a new collaborative workspace located within the PwC Pennant Building in Ballpark Village. The Spark Co-working community supports the thriving St. Louis entrepreneurial ecosystem, where you can live, work, and watch the Cardinals play all within one district. The all-inclusive workspace includes furnished month-to-month offices and suites with stadiums, city, and arch views, concierge mail service, nitro cold brew coffee on tap, and so much more. Call 314-278-5297 or visit spark-stl.com.
You know, we've all been there, right? You're sitting there, you're hungry, you're watching football on a Saturday or a Sunday, you're watching baseball on a weekend, and you're just waiting for the pizza to get out of the oven because it feels like it's taking too much time, the anticipation there. Well, it's still going to take that time when you're buying a Brew Pub Lots of Matzo pizza, but with them, it's absolutely worth waiting. Every minute that you wait is going to be rewarded because of what you're getting is super high quality ingredients. In fact, they're so proud of what they're putting on their pizzas. It's in the clear wrapping so you can get a great look at it. 1/2 pound of award-winning mozzarella cheese on every single pizza. Sauce is bold. It's got a little extra zing to it. And obviously the other toppings are high quality and also high volume. You're not going to be getting any pieces. You know, you get through the slices and you'll look at the one that's like, hey, that one's got no toppings on it. Like, no matter how I slice this, I'm going to have one that doesn't have anything on it. Not going to be the case with the Brew Pub Lots of Matzo pizza. So before you're getting ready for a weekend, or heck, you're getting ready to watch a little bit of, it doesn't even have to be sports. Maybe you're getting ready to watch one of the hot new TV shows that you've been streaming. Feel free to go to the grocery store, head down that freezer aisle, and look at all the choices you have with the Brew Pub Lots of Matzo pizzas. They're waiting for you in your store, and once you toss them in the oven, they will be worth the wait. It's the Brew Pub Lots of Matzo pizzas.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions, and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
That's AMCO, AA, MCO.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
Hi, it's Debbie Monterey, and I see clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Malhotra. You can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Attention veterans. If you were stationed at Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987, you and your family may be victims of toxic water poisoning. Cancers, birth defects, deadly illnesses have all been linked to the contaminated water. Congress is now holding the government accountable. You could be awarded financial compensation for your suffering, but you must act now. Visit sickvets.com for your free case review by True Law. That's sickvets, like veterans.com. sickvets.com. Visit sickvets.com.
Hi there, it's John Hancock for First Mid Bank and Trust. They're a community-focused organization. They put so much money back into the communities where they serve. They've been around for 157 years. If you're looking for a bank, check them out. They got 19 locations here in the greater St. Louis area. plenty of small business professionals to work with. They got insurance experts. Whether you're saving for your first home, paying off debt, or planning for retirement, First Mid Bank is the place for you. Go check them out online, firstmid.com. You'll be glad you did.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing. September is World Ozone Month, so it's a great month to get rid of all your aerosol sprays and harsh cleaning products. Join Odyssey, and together, each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. They're back.
Three best friends.
Hey.
The three amigos.
Yeah. Kevin, Chris, and Amy. The show.
All right, just a few minutes left in this hour. We got our Redbird Report coming up at 12:30. Matt Pauley is going to join us. We'll talk about what happened with the weekend against the Reds, Albert Pujols, and also a little bit more depth about the offense. They've been struggling to score runs here in the last, what would you say, Ron, the last week and a half or so?
Well, really this month of September.
Waited over the last week, though. It's really kind of been the drag.
Sure.
We'll get into all of that with Matt Pauley and whether or not that's something to worry about or if it's just normal, because before that, they were gangbusters for about 6 weeks. It's probably just a leveling off, but we'll see.
Could be.
Obviously, that'll be a bigger concern in about 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks, we'll be talking more about it. But right now, we'll start getting into that at 12:30. We do a little. This is something I want to spend more time on later in the week. Ron, I know you do too, and we'll bring Amy into this when she's back as well. But there's a story in the New York Post about how social media, and this is the headline, how social media is literally making teens mentally ill. It's written by a doctor, okay? So this is not just a regular person. Dr. Nicholas Kardaras was the one that wrote it. I'm not sure that I'm all in that it's the cause of everything, but I'm all in the idea that when you grow up and you spend too much time and energy on any form of social media, it's like anything else. Too much of it is bad for you. Is there anything where too much is not bad for you? Any behavior, anything you do, anything you eat, at some point, it's bad for you.
I don't know. Money seems nice.
Look at what it does to people, though. I mean, it's funny.
Not to the people who have it. It's only to the people around you.
Look at how they are, though. So many of them are miserable jerks. Elon Musk's got all the money in the world, and he's still a Twitter troll. Like, it's not fixing anything.
He was going to be a jerk without the money.
Yeah. Who knows, though? Maybe it makes you a bigger jerk. I think.
I'm sure of that.
What's interesting, though, is that's actually not a bad comp. Is that, people always say, well, money can't buy happiness. And it's true to a degree. It can buy comfort. It can buy security. But if you have other underlying insecurities or other things, it can make it worse.
Way worse.
And
because
social media is, we tend to look at that differently, but I think it's kind of the same idea.
Well, think of it this way. If you're a person who does get made fun of at school, you're bullied, whatever, at least when you go home, you can get away from it. But maybe you go home and then you look at TikTok or you look at another social media platform and there are kids making fun of you on it. So you can't really ever get away from it. That's got to be devastating for somebody who is young and in those years where they can be affected for the rest of their life. The stuff that happens to you sometimes in junior high, high school forms how you are as a person for the rest of your life. Not always. Like, you can overcome a lot of things, but you always have that in the background. Oh, I remember those kids picked on me.
Yeah.
I'm going to show them. And then you have that chip on your shoulder for the rest of your life. So I can imagine that if you're somebody who does get made fun of at school, and then you go home and you see it and you don't ever get an escape from that, that's a problem. And I would also argue that part of it could be just in general, and this is maybe more so the case for adults. I know that when I'm in my bed getting ready for bed, I spend a little bit of time scrolling through social media.
Sure.
Twitter.
I watch the prank videos on TikTok.
Yeah. I mean, you do stuff like that. Well,
then I send them to you.
For the most part, maybe not you, because you're one of those people who can go to sleep whenever you want to because you're insane.
Yes.
But a lot of people, that's disruptive to them getting a full night's sleep because their brain's still kind of working. It happens to me as well.
You're right.
So when you do not get an appropriate amount of sleep, and I am convinced that social media contributes to lack of sleep because you're on your phone before you go to bed. You're 10 times more likely to be depressed. You're 17 times more likely to face anxiety when you are on social media and then don't get the proper amount of sleep at night. So I think that's part of it too.
Here's the thing that I think this is clearly an issue, and it's one that we need to study and maybe even take some action on. And by that, I mean individuals doing it, families doing it, not necessarily a bigger group. But, they use the example of a girl in this story who started spending 12 to 15 hours a day on various social media accounts after her friends went away to school and she stayed home to go to community college. Well, we're blaming these issues, the depression and things that come along that on the social media. My argument would be that it's actually the absence of friends that's pushing you that way, and that's the real root. And I just want us to make sure we're focused on what's actually contributing to the problem and not just blaming the newest thing on the block because we don't fully understand it.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But inflation and recession has you wondering if all your hard-earned equity will still be there. What if you could recession-proof your equity right now? You can with Truehold. Truehold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in your home for as long as you want. And Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since Truehold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you like. Don't wait for inflation, recession, and interest rates to erode your home's value. Visit Truehold.com and discover how much Truehold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends Mark and Neil Gelman from the Gelman team of eXp Realty. Selling your home, every situation is unique. Find the best options that are right for you from the real estate team who offer more options. My friends Mark and Neil Gelman, check out the only agents that I trust at thegelmanteam.com.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Paramount Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Brown. The physicians at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Paramount Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
Hello, this is Chad Clayman with ClaymanGroup.com, 314-946-9999, 946-9999. If you've noticed that interest rates are rising and prices aren't quite the same as they used to be, give us a call because we are cash buyers, and so we're not affected by interest rates. Where maybe the market was super hot previously and now things have calmed down a little bit and you're not getting the prices that you want, give us a call if you have a house to sell because we are cash buyers. 314-946-9999, ClaymanGroup.com.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Got an old car? Donate it to Goodwill to help make a real difference in people's lives right here at home. Just make a call, and Goodwill will haul it away for free, running or not, and you'll get a tax deduction. Get rid of that old clunker. Donate it to Goodwill. It's easy. Just call, and Goodwill will haul it away for free. 314-241-3464. 314-241-3464. Or donate online at mersgoodwill.org. Give hope. Give local. Give Goodwill.
Hi, I'm Mandy Moore. Stand Up to Cancer is closer than ever before to achieving its mission to make every cancer patient into a long-term survivor. To learn more and get Advantage miles, go to standuptocancer.org/American Earth.
The World Trade Center St. Louis is hosting its annual Growing Global Luncheon Friday, September 30th at the Ritz-Carlton in Clayton. With the successful launch of direct flights to Europe, Growing Global 2022 will explore international connectivity and the value and impact of connecting our community and businesses in a 21st century global economy. Registration and sponsorships are available at worldtradecenter-stl.com. Reserve your spot now and join us for Growing Global September 30th.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 12:01, it's a sunny sky, 86 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour. Britain's Queen Elizabeth has been laid to rest after a day of massive ceremony. CBS's Vicky Barker reports from London.
After a day of dazzling public spectacle, a more private ceremony, the committal service at St. George's Chapel, Windsor Castle. The Queen eulogized with reverence and affection before the scepter, orb, and crown presented at her coronation were removed from the coffin to pass to her son at his coronation. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
Certainly, there is a very special relationship that Missouri has directly with the UK.
That's Derek Greer, head of the Missouri Legislature's Friends of the UK caucus. The caucus was created by legislatures to strengthen business relationships.
The Queen's very first prime minister, Sir Winston Churchill, gave his famous speech here in Fulton, Missouri. And of course, we have the Winston Churchill Museum in Fulton, Missouri.
There will be a delegation traveling to Chicago at the end of the month to attend an official Thanksgiving service at St. James Cathedral. A protest over inmate deaths at the downtown St. Louis jail.
This is Kevin Killeen outside the downtown jail. A crowd of about 30 protesters calling on the jail to release the causes of death for 6 inmates they say have died here in the past 5 months. Also, they want better treatment in general, including the end of mace and other chemical agents to discipline inmates. At the jail, Kevin Killeen, KMOX News.
President Biden says the U.S. is now looking at the pandemic in the rearview mirror, but many disagree.
The pandemic is over.
President Biden's announcement on CBS's 60 Minutes comes as a relief to many people, but some aren't convinced.
I really don't think it's over. I think it's just calm down for a little bit, then it's going to come back again.
Donna Silva says she's still taking COVID precautions, using hand sanitizer and avoiding crowds.
Just because I don't want to get sick. I've gotten it twice. So it's kind of like I just don't want to get sick.
Health experts warn the coronavirus is still a serious disease. Over 400 people in the U.S. died from COVID on Sunday. Matt Bigler for CBS News, Oakland.
The First Mid-Bank and Trust Business Desk, another company, gets rid of the private plane.
Playboy is selling off its private jet as the company struggles with mounting losses. The big money has been sold for $17.5 million to raise cash for the company that licenses the iconic brand. According to Donna Hope, Bloomberg Radio.
The Dow from Stifel's up 28 points to 30,851. The news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. We've got debris 370 west before 141, the left lane closed. Debris 255 east before Telegraph has the center lane closed. Weather sponsored by Reinhold Flooring.
Mostly sunny for this afternoon, but it's all about the heat and humidity with a record-tying temperature of 96 expected for this afternoon. Real feels around 100. Very warm for tonight, low 75. Hot again for tomorrow, high of 98. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Matt Benz on the Voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
Want beautiful flooring at a competitive price? Reinhold Flooring has first-class flooring products, professional craftsmen, and a knowledgeable, caring sales staff. Start your next project by scheduling a free in-home measure and consultation at reinholdflooring.com. That's reinholdflooring.com. Right now, we've got a partly cloudy sky. It's 86 in Florissant, 87 in St. Peters, and 86 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
It's 12:05 on the show. Chris Raji, Kevin Wheeler here. Amy Markscore's on vacation. She will be back in a couple of days. You can join us anytime you'd like. 314-436-7900 is the number. You can also leave a voicemail, 314-944-1120. We are at the show, KMOX. On Twitter, all right, 12:30, we've got our Redbird Report with Matt Pauley coming up. Noon is when we normally just kind of double back on some of the hottest topics of the day. The beginning of the show, Ronj, we talked about Albert and home run number 698 over the weekend, and just the remarkable nature of all of this. The story, this fairy tale season when you have all guys riding off into the sunset, and you've got individual achievements like Albert's, but you've got all Yachty and Wayno doing their thing. There's a lot of feel good, and also a lot of play good, which is a nice combo.
Well,
or play well.
I think that's what what Billy Crystal on SNL used to say. You say if you feel good, you'll play good, right?
Well,
it's better to play good. Wait, it's better to play good than to look good. Something like that. Right?
Sure, whatever. We'll talk.
What was that character? It's like from the 80s or 70s. Whenever Billy Crystal was on the show.
You look marvelous.
That guy. That's the one.
Yeah. I don't remember who that's supposed to be, though.
Yeah, I don't either.
We'll
Dave, do you know you're an old guy?
Hey, he's the same age as me. Stop it.
Oh,
That's,
never mind.
Fernando Lamas.
Is that who he's supposed to be?
Really?
Yeah, Fernando's Hideaway was what the
was it?
Oh, that's
called.
right.
Okay. You look
Welcome to the Hideaway.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Dave.
There we go.
All right.
So we've solved that problem, and obviously more on Albert and the Cardinals coming up at 12:30. We touched on your adventure. We should probably revisit that for a minute or two.
Dude!
Ranji got to go up in the plane with the Golden Knights, the Army Golden Knights, because we had Staff Sergeant Gabriel Colon in studio with us on Friday. He hung out with us for like an hour and a half. It's great, man, because I thought he was going to do one segment. We ran out of time, and we're like, you can stay if you want. He's like, yeah, I want to stay.
I don't have to be anywhere till 6 o'clock.
He helped us out with the Friday Fun Police.
It was great.
Did all that stuff with us, and then you got to go up in the plane with them on Saturday.
Just incredibly impressed with, like, you would think, I don't know what my vision of what they do is or what anybody who jumps out of a plane is. I figure they fly up, they get to the spot, they already know what the predetermined spot is, and they all just jump out. But as soon as we got off the ground, they were trying to get a feel for the wind. Like immediately, we weren't, I don't even know, maybe we weren't even a couple thousand feet in the air. And they were already, by the way, the door is open the entire time. Like the entire time. So there's a lot of that when you're coming down, like when they're descending, your ears are pretty clogged up and you got to figure out how to release that pressure. But anyway, these guys are hanging out by the edge of the door, just looking over the edge, several thousand feet up in the air, just kind of looking around like, okay.
With parachutes on.
Well, yeah, with parachutes on, but still.
And they're professionals.
When you jump out of a plane, you want to jump out when you're ready to.
Well,
and I've been not when like on accident you just go whoops. And I did ask that question, which is probably not the question to ask. But I said, has anybody ever accidentally fallen out before they were ready to go? And Gabriel said, no, not that I'm aware. He had 800 jumps or almost 800 jumps, and he said no.
It's funny because that was was my question when you were describing that.
Yeah.
It's got to be such a noob question. Like, they're like,
Yeah.
okay, noob, nobody falls out
Because
of the plane.
they're not really holding on to anything.
No.
Like they're just, some of them are just standing there. Maybe they got their hand on the wall, but they're not grabbing a rail. Like they're just steadying themselves, and the plane is banking and it's shifting. And I mean, I was just super impressed with how much communication goes on. And we did several passes over Forest Park, trying to find the perfect place for them to jump out and hit their target. And they were awesome. And apparently they're all afraid of the ocean, which was awesome. I loved the fact that was their fear.
When Gabe was with us in studio, he was specifically not afraid of the ocean, but
The sharks.
Was it the same for the other guys, or was it just the ocean in general?
There was the unknown.
Okay.
There was one guy who said, you don't know what's down there. Like, you don't know what's down in that ocean, but I know for a fact there's nothing in the sky that's going to eat me, is what he said.
They don't have, like, nicknames and stuff on their helmet like fighter pilots do?
No, but there was one guy. He was, and I don't know exactly what his title is, but he doesn't jump, but he was the one that was communicating to them on the plane, getting the directions from the pilots, and I don't know, giving them numbers, and they would relay the numbers to one another. It was a really cool process to watch that. His name was Turbo.
That's nice.
Isn't that awesome?
I was just wondering if they gave you a name.
No, they didn't give me a name.
That stinks.
It would have been like Wiener or something. Hey, Wiener, just sit here. Sit here, stay buckled in, don't go anywhere. That's what I did. And by the way, it wasn't like a
Chris Ranji call sign
Wiener. It wasn't like a strap over the shoulder buckle in. It was just like an airplane seatbelt. Like when you're in a regular flight, like a 737 that just over the lap. That's all I did.
Gabe mentioned when he was in on Friday that they actually have little contraptions so that people can hold their cell phones, for example.
Yes.
Because nothing can fall out. Did you get to use that?
Yep. So it was a not a rope, but like a cord of some kind. And it had these rubber things that stretch around your phone, because when they jump, for whatever reason, as soon as they jump out of the plane, there's a rush of air. And I could absolutely see that rush of air taking your phone with him. Like it sucks some of the air out of the plane when they jump out. So I'm sure at some point somebody's lost a hat or lost a phone, and they're like, okay, we need to.
Yeah, but like he told us, like it's super dangerous. You can't have stuff falling out of the plane. It can land on somebody.
Well, the FAA will be all over them.
Right. He said the
They'll be in
pilot
trouble.
could lose their license
That's
if
right.
that happened. So he
That's right.
went through the trouble of creating these contraptions to make sure nothing was going to fall
And
out.
also, by the way, one of my favorite things, I mentioned a bunch of those, but one thing I did not mention last time was there is a no smoking sign on that plane. Multiple no smoking signs, like you see over your seats on your commercial flight that you get on. There's the buckle your seatbelt and the no smoking light right next to it.
Yeah.
Same thing on this Army aircraft. And they told me, they said the older versions of those airplanes actually had ashtrays in the yes.
That's just insane.
Like the 60s were something, man.
Yeah, 60s, 70s, 80s. They just gradually worked away from that. We also hit on Post Malone at Enterprise Center, taking a little tumble, bruising up those ribs, and having to cut the show short. But I think we both agreed. Gets props for getting back out there and continuing the show, at least for a period of time after taking the fall. Give him
well done.
He gets because he's wearing a Blues sweater. He gets a little hockey bonus there.
He's a gamer, man. He got back out there.
He was a hockey player for a bit, at least a bit of that last night.
And I love the Blues tweet that he sustained an upper body injury but returned to action.
He's
very well done.
He's day to day. And we also discussed actually an increase in anti-monarchy sentiment in the UK since the passing of Queen Elizabeth. And again, I'm trying to figure out, I think it's more opportunists. And by that, I don't mean it in a negative way, but like, it's an opportunity with the timing to talk about this, to have the conversation. Although I wouldn't be surprised if some of it was people were kind of okay with the Queen and they're probably not as okay with old Charles.
Yeah, that's a lot of it, I'm sure. I think that for many people, they really loved her, but there's maybe an not insignificant amount of British that feel like, okay, now that she's gone, let's move on. She was great for us. Stabilizing force for years, likable enough. Let's move on from this idea.
Yeah.
Now that she's no longer with us.
Yeah. And I don't think any of the criticism, and I know from my end, it's not really about her as much as it is about the structure, the family, the way they're going to spend tens of millions of dollars on this funeral. You're going to tell me couldn't be put to better use? You don't have any hungry people in the UK. You don't have any people that maybe need a little help with something. I mean, like, it's what disgusts me about wealth in the United States too. It's that the excess is just, you have no concept of what's happening around you in the world. You can't solve everything, but that's not an excuse to not help people, right? Like a rich guy, a billionaire can't solve everybody's problems, but you could help a lot of people as opposed to doing something frivolous. And I would say tens of millions of dollars on a funeral is frivolous. I don't care if it's a queen or a rich dude or anybody. I don't care who it is.
You will get no argument from me on that.
Hey.
Like, you just, I mean,
but it's not about her necessarily. Like, I don't really have any
it's the idea of
her. It's the concept that we're more important than all of you.
Your idea is the overall idea of hoarding wealth.
Yeah,
and people who have it, and it doesn't do any good for the rest of us.
They just get to have it and say they have it.
That's it.
They're never even going to spend it. It's just, I want it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't like that. Be rich, by the way. That's cool. But also,
being rich is awesome.
Yeah, but I want to be rich. But if I am, I'm still going to be like not that person.
Sure.
Right. You know, the one that's like, yep, still all about me.
I think that if I were really
I'm never
well,
going to be that rich, by the way.
If I were super wealthy and things came to a head and things started to break down and the people were at my gates about to break it down and come in to get me and to drag me out of my castle, I think
with a moat,
they'll figure that out because there aren't any guards to stop them. at this point because society is totally broken down. But in that moment, if that ever happens and they're coming after me, I'd have two thoughts. One of them is, oh God, this sucks. But also, I kind of get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
You've actually lived in the real world as
Right.
opposed to those.
Like, I totally get it. They're coming after me. My time's up.
All right. Ranj brought up something last week we were just shooting the bull in the office about something that, I mean, honestly, made me feel kind of old. There are a lot of those things here and there that make you feel old.
Oh, my God. I don't want to talk about this.
But this is one of them because it doesn't feel like it was as long ago as it actually was. We'll explain what we mean when we come back here on the show.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to KMOX for all the news, sports, talk, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
Hi, this is Steve Butts at the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. This year marks our 60th anniversary serving our clients and friends, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Norbert Butts. As your local independent insurance agency, we've been proud to represent many fine carriers such as Safeco, Travelers, and Progressive. So please give us a call for all your insurance needs. 314-752-2500 or crawfordbutts.com.
This is Corey from Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling, here to tell you about an organization that is near and dear to our company and one we've been proud to sponsor, Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Greater St. Louis Honor Flight flies World War II, Korea, and Vietnam War veterans to Washington, D.C. for free to see their memorials. Greater St. Louis Honor Flight is looking for you. If you know of a veteran, please sign them up for their honor flight, or if you'd like to lend your support, visit gslhonorflight.org. And for all things heating and cooling, visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Throw on your cowboy boots and get ready to dance. Join Paraquad on September 23rd at Ritz-Carlton Clayton for the Shine the Light Gala event. For more details, go to paraquad.org or contact Anna Corbett at 314-289-4214. Paraquad, we make independence accessible.
When you read financial news updates, popular headlines include inflation, 401ks, and taxes, but bottom line, it all comes back to the number one fear, which is running out of money. If you're close or in retirement, you have two big jobs: protect your life savings and create income for retirement. So how do you do that? You call Steve All and the team at the All Financial Group, and you put together a customized, comprehensive plan. Start checking off those boxes for income for life, tax-free retirement, and much more.
Let's sit down and talk about your questions, because I think that's the most important thing that it is out there. It's what questions do you have?
Call today, 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. Or go to yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance products, including annuities, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
Well, you never know when you're going to need a plumber, but when you do, you will have one in your contacts. Open up your contact page on your phone. I'm going to give you the information to contact Beast Plumbing whenever there is a stopped-up toilet or sewer repairs or sewer and drain cleaning services you need or faucet repair. Just got word from Beast Plumbing that they have a special they don't want you to miss out on. $100 off in the month of September for a reverse osmosis system for your home or business, actually. Reverse osmosis systems produce cleaner water. It saves you money and are better for the environment. $100 off is a sweet deal at Beast Plumbing. But if you ever have a need for a plumber, whether it's a repair or you don't like the water that's coming out of the faucet, contact Beast Plumbing. They can take care of it. Beast Plumbing is also hiring customer experience coordinators, journeyman plumbers, drain technicians, and so much more. Their phone number is 314-698-1154. You can call them or find them online at beastplumbing.com. Tell them Bo sent you to Beast Plumbing. Did you put that in your contacts?
It has been a bumpy ride for businesses. We talk about the pandemic. We know now there's inflation, and a lot of people could really use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees, you could be eligible to receive a payroll tax rebate of up to $26,000 per employee. So this isn't a loan. There's no payback. It's a refund of your taxes. Now, the hard part, right, is how to get it. That's where Innovation Refunds can help you. They will help you cut through the red tape and get your business the refund money. Here's what you need to do. Go to getrefunds.com. The team of tax attorneys that they have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program and have already returned $1 billion to businesses, and they can help you too. To find out if your business qualifies, just go to getrefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, and then answer a few questions. Getrefunds.com.
News, talk, sports. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Will you remove your helmet and tell me your name?
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix Legions, loyal servant to the true emperor, Marcus Aurelius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next.
We are the spear of victory! We are the blade of freedom! We are the Hornet!
Touch back in on the show here on KMOX. Chris Rajji,
abrupt.
Kevin Wheeler with you here. So the reason we played those two things back to back, if you know the first one, you know it. It's Gladiator, Russell Crowe's character confronting his mortal enemy.
That guy was a jerk.
Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah.
What a jerk.
Yeah, he was. And the reason we're playing that, and then the second clip you heard was from the new movie that just came out called The Woman King. And the only reason we're playing those two together is that, Ron, as you pointed out, somebody made the comparison, and we're not even talking about the comparison or the movies. It's more about age.
Well,
it's more about like being
yes.
like, oh no, weirded out because somebody compared The Woman King and said it is this generation's Gladiator.
That was on the promo that was airing, and we meant to talk about this on Friday, but we ended up talking to Gabriel Colon for a long time with the Golden Knights. So
we should have asked about this.
We should have asked about this.
Yeah.
But the preview, and it was during Thursday Night Football on Prime, which, by the way, they're airing football games live on Amazon Prime now. And the preview said in big, bold letters, "This generation's Gladiator." And I saw that, and I thought, wait a minute. This generation, how old is Gladiator?
Yeah.
And then, so, I mean, this is not to speak of the quality of The Woman King. It might be great. I don't know. It's getting great reviews.
It's 95% fresh from the reviewers on Rotten Tomatoes, 99% fresh with the viewers with over 1,000 ratings.
So that's a lot.
So it is getting really good reviews.
It may, and I'm going to see it at some point.
Me too.
Probably should see Top Gun first. Still haven't done that. I know, dude. I know.
You know what? We'll get to the other one later.
We'll get to. But anyway, I saw that and I thought, wait a minute, how the Gladiator can't be that old? So it's from it's 22 years old.
Gladiator is pre 9/11.
I
would never have guessed
never thought that.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it seems to me to be like at most 15 years old. And I've seen it 1,000 times. But when you have it put to you that way, and then you have to go back and check, well, wait a minute, how old is this movie? That was one of those, oh my God, I am ancient. I am decrepit now. Like one of those moments where it just really punches you in the gut.
Right.
Because Gladiator, I don't know why. In my brain, maybe because it's on all the time. Like you can find it on cable almost every night. And I just never expected it to be as old as it is. And then I wonder how many people out there don't really know the movie, because that's when it really starts to hit you in the groin, is when you realize there are a lot of younger people that have no idea what you're talking about. There are probably some 20-year-olds out there that have never seen Gladiator, don't know anything about it, don't know what "Are You Not Entertained" is. They don't know that line. And they probably haven't heard the Jay-Z song that uses it. Like, they don't know any of this stuff. And then you start to go down this rabbit hole of my life is almost over now. Because,
dang, dude, you're going way
yeah,
further
like,
than
think
this I
about
thought
that.
it.
Gladiator is 22 years old.
Yeah.
And there are legitimate people there are people right now who can legally drink who were not alive when that movie was out.
Right.
That's insane to me.
It
I
is
don't know
crazy.
why it's
And that was the point of the comparison. 'Cause
Yes.
I have no. I'm not going to make the comparison from a movie I haven't seen. And it is interesting that it's getting that kind of review because Gladiator was very popular. Especially guys. Guys love the Gladiator. I love the revenge movies. Those are some of my favorites. But when you put it that way, and you're like, it's this generation's Gladiator. I'm like, wait, isn't that also our generation? And I'm like, nope, it's not. It's definitely not. And then I started thinking about it. Okay, so let's say you're one of those 21-year-old people. You can drink booze, you can go out and go to the bars, but you were not born when Gladiator was made. And I started to think, okay, so when I was 21, the year was 1992. So that would mean like things that were made in the late 60s, early 70s would have been the same to me. And I felt like those things were ancient.
Yes.
When I was 21, 22. I'm like, who's watching those dumb old movies? Old people. And now I'm like, well, time caught up to me.
I know.
Dang it.
That is a realization. There are a few things that happen to you. And I'm 45 now. You're just a little bit older than me.
I'm 50. But I will be only 50 for about another month and a half.
Oh, buddy, what are we going to do for
2
your
months.
birthday other than nothing?
Yeah, nothing.
Okay, that's fine.
We can have a cookie cake.
I can do nothing.
That'd be fine.
Look, I am more than happy to do
You don't
nothing.
get anything for 51, by the way.
Nah.
We did it up a little bit for 50. You know what we did for 50? You know what my wife did? It was great, by the way. Super creative and brilliant. She had my brother create a movie of all the people that I know saying terrible things about me. And it was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was, people, everybody here, our friend Ben Boyd, our boss, Steve Moore, John Carney, all these great people, all my friends from high school, college. And it was just all of them talking about how awful I am.
I heard,
so funny.
I heard about it. And what I was told is the biggest challenge of making that film, too much material to cut out.
Yeah. It took my brother months.
They tried to keep it short.
Yeah. It was pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
I laughed a lot. And that was it. That was worth 50. Now 51 is be like, I want a pizza and a cookie cake.
We could do that for you, buddy.
You know what old guy thing has ruined me, and I don't care.
There's always something new to learn about Dave Glover.
Closed captioned on my TV. It happened one time, and I was too old guy to figure out how to get rid of it. And after a couple shows, I'm like, I like this.
I can't. I know.
Here's especially the part I love, where in parentheses it's like dramatic music playing.
It's happening right now on Let's Make a Deal. It's like
Is it?
cheers and applause.
I'm a closed caption guy now.
The Dave Glover Show, weekdays at 2 on KMOX.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-day kitchen and bath.
I had heard about 3-day kitchen and bath. I kind of always dismissed it thinking, well, nobody can do that in 3 days. I wanted somebody who was going to come when they said they would come and, do what they said they were going to do. What I liked best was having it done in, less than a week, the whole thing from top to bottom. Nobody could believe that I really had it done that fast. They absolutely held up to every single thing that they agreed to. I especially loved the fact that I didn't have to go out all over town. The overall quality was very good. All the workmanship was so excellent. They'll definitely do exactly what they say they're going to do. There's no surprises, no added costs later. They stay until everything's exactly the way you want it, and you're done.
Thanks, Lori. Check us out online at 3daykitchen.com.
At 3-day kitchen and bath.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep. We have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
At 12:30, it's sunny and 88 degrees downtown at the Arch. From Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell bluntly warned in a speech last month that the Fed's drive to curb inflation by aggressively raising interest rates would bring some pain. On Wednesday, Americans may get a better sense of how much pain could be in store when the Fed reveals its interest rate intentions. The number of people killed on U.S. roadways fell slightly from April through June. It's the first decline in 2 years as pandemic-era reckless driving appeared to ease, but the government says traffic fatalities are still at a crisis level. The University of Missouri-St. Louis says the number of first-time students enrolling this year is up 10%. UMSL is also seeing an 18% increase in the number of transfer students. There's debris on 364 East past Arena Parkway. The right lane's closed. Debris 370 West before 141 in the left lane. 255 East before Telegraph. The center lane has debris. Weather is sponsored by Reinhold Flooring. Mostly sunny, hot, and humid with the temperature tying the record from 1955 today. High of 96. Real feels around 100. Clear and warm overnight. The low 75. Want beautiful flooring at a competitive price? Reinhold Flooring has first-class flooring products, professional craftsmen, and a knowledgeable caring sales staff. Start your next project by scheduling a free in-home measuring consultation at reinholdflooring.com. That's reinholdflooring.com. 88 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Tom Ackerman sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Mahotra. You can too. Go to yourEyeDoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Do your homework. Check us out on the Better Business Bureau and Angie's List. Hi, I'm Chuck Easter with Easter Fence Deck and Renovations. We can stand the scrutiny and encourage it. Don't just look at the ratings, but read the reviews. You'll find that we are who we say we are, a company that is focused on doing what's right every time. We never cheat, and we never cut corners. With Easter, your fence, deck, sunroom, or awning project will be completed with unmatched craftsmanship and at a fair price. Call 314-892-8500 or easterfence.com.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends at ThrottleNet. These are the genius IT guys I've been representing for years and years now. We are number one all the time. Best in customer service from Small Business Monthly. Best in cybersecurity, again, Small Business Monthly. We have an average response time. I love this statistic. The average response time in St. Louis in 2020 by IT companies. You have a problem, you reach out to them, hey, I'm all shut down, help me, was 3 hours. If you got back within 3 hours, you were cool. Ours was 1 minute, 57 seconds, and the guys were very unhappy with that. It takes less than 2 minutes for us to address your problems. Here's a huge thing. We are now offering $500,000 in ransom protection to everyone who uses us. This is part of the deal. You don't pay extra for it. So if you happen to be hit and you have to pay, we're going to pay it up to $500,000. Now, this shows you how confident we are because no one under our protection has ever had to pay. Go to throttlenet.com/DGS.
Keep up with all things Cardinals with Cardinals Conversations. Hear pre- and post-game shows, the latest from the manager and the front office, how Albert's doing.
Home run, Albert Pujols!
The replays of Live by Lowe's and much more. Cardinals Conversations, available now on the podcast page at KMOX.com.
The pitch by Waino. Albert is hit high and deep. A home run for Harrison Bader. Yadier Molina has homered. Double play. It's a big fly for Albert Pujols. A home run in the first inning for Goldie.
This is the Redbirds Report.
At 12:34 on the show, Chris Raji, Kevin Wheeler here. Amy Marks, of course, on vacation. And we got our good buddy Matt Pauley with us on the line. Talking a little Cardinals baseball during our Redbird Report. Hey, Matt, how's Monday treating you so far?
It's all right. You know, my 3-year-old decided that she was going to have a party from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. today, so I'm a little tired, but
nice.
Other than that, I'm okay.
Like,
Yeah.
why were party? Yeah, why weren't we invited?
Nobody wanted to be at this party except her.
Did you have to do a tea party?
No, she had a day. She got baptized yesterday. I think she was just all kinds of fired up after that. Yeah. So.
Who isn't all kinds of fired up after their baptism?
It's a long day. You know, kids get wound up.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, sorry to hear about your lack of sleep. Happy to be talking ball with you. And, you know, again, every day, every time we revisit things with you, Matt, something new and cool has happened. Obviously, we got home run number 698 for Albert over the weekend, a series win against the Reds, but also some concerns about the offense I think we want to dig into a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they're not scoring a lot of runs. That's pretty obvious. They got shut out yesterday, the second game of the doubleheader. They scored the 1 run there in extra innings. I'm having a real hard time with this because like I keep telling myself, I don't think it really matters that much that we're here at the end of the season. They basically have the division locked up, and that they're playing the Reds and they're playing the Pirates, and it is what it is, and they're going to kind of come out of this funk. And if they were in one of these funks in the middle of May or the middle of June, we wouldn't be worried that much about it. But at the same time, if they have a hard time scoring runs for the next 2 weeks and they go into the playoffs and they lose that wild card round series and they don't score any runs during that series, we sit here and go, told you, see what happened 2 weeks ago when they stopped scoring runs? So I don't know. Like my head says it doesn't matter, but you just have like that impending sense of doom that they don't turn it around.
You know, in particular, you can pay close attention to Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado, who both in the month of September, they really haven't been as productive. For Goldschmidt, he's still an above average for the month of September, an above average National League hitter, but that's not where he lives. Where he lives is being an elite National League hitter. And Nolan Arenado has got an OPS that's under, I think it's like 629 right now for the month of September. If these two guys are not productive, how far can they go?
In the playoffs, not that far. Like in the regular season, they can win games when those two guys aren't playing well, because baseball is a sport where you win as much with depth as you do with high-end talent. So they can survive slumps from those guys during the regular season. But in the playoffs, the expectation is that your big-time players come up with hits, and runs are at such a premium in the postseason as well. You see so much good pitching, and good pitching is so good, especially against average hitting or anything, even slightly above average hitting. That great pitching is going to knock them down. So you need those guys having those clutch hits and delivering runs once you get to the postseason. So it's two different questions. I'm not worried about it in the regular season. It's a slump. These guys are really, really good players, and they're going to be fine. If they're not producing in the postseason, it's going to be a short trip.
Yeah, and look, you guys know this, so my comments here are not about the two of you, but just people listening. 2 weeks ago, all we were talking about is how amazing these guys were. And, like those two guys both had an OPS of 1,200 in the month of August, which is not sustainable. The law of averages is going to catch up to you, which is what's happening now. This is the leveling of this is them finding sea level. Nobody's a 1,200 OPS. So you're going to come down from that. And there's really never much of a connection proven between how you finish a year and how you do in the postseason. It's clear that you need them to be good in the postseason. But like if you look at Randy Arozarena as an example, who had 76 plate appearances in the regular season in 2020, and then tore up the postseason and hit 10 home runs in the postseason that year. The regular season and postseason don't necessarily match one another. And I think it sounds like, Matt, you're this way. I know you are, Ranj. Right now, we're just going through it. It's not the end of the world. And it doesn't necessarily mean it will rebound or stay this way. We just have no idea what it's going to look like in the postseason.
And there are those guys that, for whatever reason, just get hot in the postseason. They don't cool down. You think about Ben Zobrist's run, Jock Peterson's run. From pitching wise, Madison Bumgarner's obviously really, really good. But what he has done in the postseason, taking that another step further, whatever it is, there are guys out there that tend to perform better in the postseason.
So we certainly need those guys, but in terms of pitching, that might be an even greater need once you get to the playoffs. We know that sometimes offense can be kind of difficult to come by, but if you're pitching well, that can cover up some of the offensive issues. And this has been one of the better teams in baseball over the last couple of weeks when you put all of the pitching together.
Yeah, I'm really comfortable with their pitching in the postseason up until maybe they hit like the Dodgers. And that's the only, honestly, and I'm not trying to be a homer here, that's the only team in the National League that I look at and say, okay, they're clearly better than the Cardinals. And just because they're clearly better than the Cardinals doesn't mean that the Cardinals can not beat them. We know how the playoffs work. The Cardinals would have a puncher's chance against the Dodgers, but I don't think the Braves are that much better than the Cardinals. I don't think the Mets are that much better than the Cardinals. In the American League, maybe we could talk about the Astros a little bit. We probably should mention the Yankees, even though they've done what they've done. But really, in the National League, it's only the Dodgers who I think you can clearly see a difference between who they are and the Cardinals are So from a pitching perspective, I feel very good about what the Cardinals are going to throw out there against every team that they're going to face off against.
In terms of the National League pitching, the only two teams who have been better over the last week or so have been the Dodgers and Mets. And you're right, Houston's pitched really well lately also. So if you get to the World Series and they are there, then you can worry about it then. But I wouldn't worry about anybody.
You're in the World Series.
Right, you're in the World Series. And then anything can go down in the World Series.
Yeah.
Mets and Dodgers, I would still be,
Listen, I feel like you can beat the Dodgers pitchers. I think Kershaw's beatable at this stage. You can beat Urias. Gonsolin's hurt. If he's back, you can beat Gonsolin. You can beat Andrew Heaney. You can beat Tyler Anderson. I'm not sure you beat DeGrom or Scherzer. I want no part of those two in the playoffs. None. Zero. I don't care the rest of the team. If you have to play now you won't face them in the first round. So it'll be either a 5 or a 7 game series. But no, thank you. I want neither of those.
So, and this is why, and this has nothing to do with where I was working 3 months ago. That's why I want to see the Padres hold off the Brewers, because I want to see Burns and Woodruff in a best-of-3 series you don't want to see.
Agreed. Mm-hmm. Good call.
Yeah.
Good call. And the Padres right now, the guys that they have, it's just kind of a mixed bag. I mean, they have talent, but none of them are like, oh, God, I don't want to face them. I mean, like Darvish is good. They're all good.
Yes.
But none of them are like Scherzer or what we're talking about with that. Or, like you said, Burns and Woodruff. I don't want any part of those kinds of guys in a short series, because that's all it takes is those guys to be on their game and you're out.
Yeah. Musgrove was really good for a while. He was in the Cy Young Award conversation. He's probably the guy that I'd rather not see. But outside of that, no, I think all those Padres guys are very, very beatable.
And this is also an interesting series coming up for the Cardinals. You've got the Padres. These are important games against them. Part of it is it might have some impact on seeding and who the Cardinals end up playing in their first round. If I'm not mistaken, as of right now, it's the Phillies, correct? So if the season came to an end, would they not play the Phillies in the first round? But if the Padres, if you can beat them, or wait, I don't know. It's confusing. Right. But it could either be the Phillies or the Padres, really, at this point.
Right now, it's the Phillies.
Right.
And then and Milwaukee's 2 back.
The Phillies just got swept by the Braves. They were in really good position to have that, second to last wild card, and then they got swept by the Braves, and all of a sudden that put them back. I think the Phillies are going to be fine when they're not playing the Braves. So I would expect them to start. They were on a pretty good run. Yep. They'd taken 3 out of 4 against the Marlins right before that Braves series. The Phillies are fine. They're going to start winning games again.
So would you rather play them or the Padres in the first round?
I'd rather play the Padres.
Okay.
And between those two, it's a coin flip. But and I think you're the better team than Milwaukee. Like, they don't hit. But I'm still worried about Woodruff and Burns. So, yeah, I think that really, you just have to control what you can and be as good as you can be in that spot. Last thing I have for you, Matt, is looking ahead to this week. We're talking about the Padres. It's the Dodgers after that. And I want to focus on Albert for a second, because we know he's 2 away. And it looks like, unless something changes, I was looking at the pitching matchups for the week. Looks like the Cardinals are going to face 5 lefties this week.
That's a good shot. Here's the funny thing. So, Kevin, last time we talked, and you were right in what you said, that you thought there was a good chance he was going to hit a home run against Anderson and a good shot that he was going to hit a home run against Minor when you looked at that Red Series. And you were wrong. You weren't wrong because you were incorrect in your thinking. You were wrong because it didn't happen that way.
Right.
But it actually got me thinking, these home runs that Pujols are hitting and when he's hitting them, they're coming at unlikely moments. Like, people who understand baseball can sit here and do exactly what you did and kind of map out, okay, when he's probably going to do this. Mm-hmm. And we keep being wrong. When he hit 698, his at bat before he struck out. And I said to myself, man, he looks like he needs a day. He looks tired. The bat speed looks slow. And then he hits the home run in the next at bat. So I've kind of, I've given up on trying to prognosticate on when it's going to happen, because what he does always goes against what kind of makes sense.
So I won't ask you to prognosticate here, but is he going to get the 700?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
And you need to pick up your dictionary and learn the definition of that.
Those are too heavy.
Yeah. Bronx doesn't like to read. We leave that to Amy.
Yeah, we'll let her read all the books.
Matt, what do you got coming up on the show tonight?
Yeah, it's full 2-hour show since the Cardinals are off. I have a few guests lined up, obviously, to talk a lot about the Cardinals. I also, I'm going to get into, I think it's really interesting to look at the Padres because they're about to play them and just look at the deals that they made, the deals that the Cardinals made, and more specifically the deals the Cardinals didn't make, and really kind of dig into why the way the Cardinals did it is working better than the way the Padres did it.
Good stuff. Looking forward to the show, buddy. We'll talk to you again on Thursday.
Awesome. Sounds great.
You got it. That's our man, Matt Pauley, host of Sports Open Line, Cardinals pre and post game on weeknights. You can find him, by the way, on Twitter at Matt Pauley on air. And it's Pauley with an EY, Pauley. So you get the right guy.
So if I have this right, if the Padres do well in this series, they make it more likely the Cardinals face Philly.
Right.
And then because we're only talking about a couple
Milwaukee.
weeks.
Yeah,
or Milwaukee. But if the Cardinals win against the Padres, that increases the chances they play San Diego in the postseason.
Yeah. They're an interesting team, the Padres, because they're a lot of the guys that they got, like Josh Bell's been terrible since they got him in the Juan Soto deal. Juan Soto has been bad. Like he's not hit well at all since the trade.
What worries me is
but then if those guys figure
just
it out,
all of a sudden.
Yeah, and you
which
got
is
Machado there already too.
Yeah.
And I mean, like they're all dangerous teams, though. I mean, like there's nobody. The weakest team of the group is Milwaukee, and they're going to throw Burns and Woodruff at you in games 1 and 2 of a 3-game series. So no matter who you're facing, there's going to be a challenge. You know, if you get the Phillies, it's Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola right out of the gate, games 1 and 2, and a lineup that hits a lot of home runs. And there's not going to be an easy matchup. You're just going to be about how well you're playing. If you're playing like you were a week and a half ago, you're going to be just fine. And by the way, we got that texter who just said Cardinals are struggling against non-playoff bound teams.
Well, that's not exactly true.
Well, I mean, yeah,
they've had a couple of difficulties, but they're 11-6 this month.
Yeah.
And that's against non-playoff teams.
Yeah.
So you can
the
say
knock
which
before was that they weren't playing well against good teams, but since the All-Star break, they're like 11-4 against the contending teams they faced.
Right. So I don't know what the argument there is. Like you're trying to want them to play better.
They're not hitting.
Yeah, you want them to do better, and that's fair, and we've already said that. But you can't exactly say that they have been struggling against non-playoff teams when they are 11-6 against those teams this month.
Yeah, 11-6.
That's not exactly struggling.
But
no.
the offense is struggling. That's real. We'll be talking about that between now and the start of the playoffs. But nothing happening now means a damn thing for the playoffs, either good or bad. If you're going great right now, same thing, man. Playoffs are unpredictable.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
I'm in a test plot near Portageville, Missouri that's dedicated to new Pioneer brand A-Series and List E3 soybeans. Row to row, it looks impressive. But what's more impressive is what you can't see with the naked eye. Exclusive and elite Pioneer genetics. And the performance makes it anything but a regular Enlist E3 soybean. From field to lab, Pioneer brand A-Series and List E3 soybeans are like no other.
Odyssey celebrates Hispanic Heritage Month and the trailblazers who made their mark worldwide. She is known as the Queen of Salsa. Celia Cruz won 8 Grammy Awards in her 40-year career. In addition to her accolades in music, Celia was awarded the National Medal of Arts by President Bill Clinton in 1994, inducted into the Billboard Music Hall of Fame and the International Latin Music Hall of Fame in 1999. More on the Odyssey app, and celebrate the sounds and stories of Hispanic heritage at odyssey.com/HHM.
Transform your home into the most beautiful home in your neighborhood with Banner Construction, St. Louis's premier James Hardy and Pella window expert. Add curb appeal and value to your home by calling Banner Construction 314-569-1050.
I'm sure that you've felt the shift in the real estate market and have wondered how it will affect you. Is it time to buy or is it time to sell? What are your options? Hi, I'm Christina Straight with Straight Realty. Give us a call and we can discuss a strategy that works for your individual needs in this ever-changing market. Quality and experience at a more affordable rate. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. 314-441-4444.
Free Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
You had a solid retirement dream, sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But inflation and recession has you wondering if all your hard-earned equity will still be there. What if you could recession-proof your equity right now? You can with Truehold. Truehold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in your home for as long as you want. And Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since Truehold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you like. Don't wait for inflation, recession, and interest rates to erode your home's value. Visit Truehold.com and discover how much Truehold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
Spark Co-working St. Louis is a new collaborative workspace located within the PwC Pennant Building in Ballpark Village. The Spark Co-working community supports the thriving St. Louis entrepreneurial ecosystem, where you can live, work, and watch the Cardinals play all within one district. The all-inclusive workspace includes furnished month-to-month offices and suites with stadium, city, and arch views, concierge mail service, nitro cold brew coffee on tap, and so much more. Call 314-278-5297 or visit spark-stl.com.
Ask yourself, what am I doing to guarantee I will have adequate inflation-hedged income that I may never outlive? Why not make sure your future income is growing and may last as long as you do? Call for your complimentary retirement and income book at 844-513-SAFE. That's 844-513-7233. And also join me, Ben Coons, for the Retirement and Income Radio Show, heard here every Saturday at 3 p.m. on KMOX Radio.
Hi, Kent Newbold for Newbold BMW. Your BMW is worth more than ever before, so don't trust your maintenance to a bunch of amateurs. Come see the factory-trained technicians at Newbold BMW in O'Fallon, Illinois, or at newboldbmw.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
Join the Foundation Fighting Blindness at the St. Louis Vision Walk on Saturday, October 1st at Creve Coeur Lake Park to help find cures to diseases that cause blindness. Visit visionwalk.org.
Stress and anxiety reactions following disasters can be challenging. If you were impacted by the recent floods, show me hope, because help is available. Find resources and local providers at moshowmehope.org. Brought to you by the Missouri Department of Mental Health.
Make sure your home's heating and cooling system is in shape for the season with the community trusted service from Scott Lee Heating. Get exclusive savings on a new Lennox system. Call 314-756-9444 today or at scottleeheating.com. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. Kevin, Amy, and Chris now.
Best friends together.
Dave Glover at 2 on KMOX.
At 12:53 on the show, Chris Ranji and Kevin Wheeler with you. Amy Markscourse is on vacation. She will be back here in a couple of days. I don't know that there. I do know. There is no real connection between any of these things, Ranj. But last night I was just going my thing. I go to all kinds of websites and all of that, and I hit Fox News. I don't usually click on MSNBC, but I do the Fox News, the CNN, ABC News, Vice. I got a whole routine. I got like 10 places I like to go just to see what people are talking about, right? And I was on the main page at CNN, and I look at like in the upper left box. Here's what it was: tropical storm crushing Puerto Rico, more record flooding. Colorado river levels are dangerously low. A typhoon is wrecking Japan. Tsunami warnings in Taiwan after an earthquake. Huge, nasty storm in Alaska that happens once a decade that's got flooding on coastal areas. And another tropical storm brewing in the Gulf of Mexico. And I'm like, that's a lot. That's a lot of things. And I mean, let's not even forget about the wildfires that have been going on out west.
Pakistan, what happened? Did you mention that or no?
But
the flooding.
I saw that they sustained $30 billion in damage from that like historic flooding in Pakistan. There's a lot of crap going on, and again, there's no connection between an earthquake and a tropical storm. It's not like one's making the other happen, but good Lord, is it a lot right now?
There might be a connection between the tropical storm and the flooding and the other storms that are all happening all over the place. An earthquake is an earthquake. That's, that's tectonic plates moving. But storms and weather are completely different. And I mean, there are a lot of people, too many people, who are denying anything is going on and that it's worse and that we've made it worse. But the reality is slapping us in the face. So I'm just hoping we don't get to a point or that we could do something to reverse it a bit so that it doesn't get so dramatic that millions, if not billions of people start being displaced because of where they live, then have to find a new place to live, which is just absolute economic disaster if that ends up happening. And as we talked about the Pakistan floods, wasn't it a third of the country? A third of the country was underwater.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if a third of our country was underwater, especially on the coasts where a lot of people live?
Our landmass is quite a bit bigger than Pakistan, but still it's a large area.
Yeah, and the most likely of all of the disasters are going to occur. I mean, we can have drought in the middle of the country, but the water disasters are going to happen and do happen on the coasts. If those people get permanently displaced, we're in some serious trouble, man. And we better start acting like that's a problem.
And
collectively, we better act like that's a problem because it is.
That I saw 2 weeks ago. The quote-unquote doomsday glacier is hanging by its fingernails.
That's not good. Because if that thing falls off, that's a sea level rise. They may be underestimating how bad it'll be.
Let's just hope those fingernails can last for a little while.
Oy.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
AA MCO.
Tom Ackerman for Building Community with Busey Bank, a podcast series easily accessible at KMOX.com/community banking. This summer, the Little Bit Foundation lost their huge warehouse and headquarters in the flood. It's both a heartbreaking and inspirational story with Busey and the community helping. Listen to our September podcast, Building Community with Busey Bank, at KMOX.com/community banking.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet store. Do you want to walk and stay healthy, but cannot because you are in pain?
I just had difficulty walking. I could not walk in bare feet at all.
Do you keep buying new shoes and inserts from the drugstore with little or no relief?
I tried all kinds of shoes. It was the arch supports that made the difference from the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet system fits in all your shoes. So come to the Good Feet store and become pain-free today.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Caddy Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Dearborn's.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
If you're planning to sell your St. Louis area home, now may be the best time to capture the highest sale value before the market changes. This is Debbie Monterey, and according to industry experts, the real estate market has shifted. Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty agrees, and she has options to help every type of home seller because she understands that every situation is different. If you need to sell your home quickly, but you're worried about finding your next home, Gloria has your answers and solutions. Gloria has an instant cash offer program that gives you above market cash offers, no showings, no hassles, and you pick the closing date even up to a year, giving you the cash and time needed to find your next home. Call Gloria Lou and ask her about the instant cash offer guarantees or other options that will help you sell fast and for the most money. Call 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888. It's Gloria Lou of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria has the buyers.com.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 1 o'clock, we've got a partly cloudy sky. It's 89 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour. Britain has said goodbye to Queen Elizabeth, and Britons have turned out in the thousands for one last look at their sovereign. CBS's Vicky Barker reports from London.
London's Ceremonial Avenue, a sea of blue and black and crimson uniforms, a medley of marching bands and plumed hats, and that flag-draped coffin watched by emotional crowds.
It was nice to say my final goodbye. She was a great person and she helped a lot of people. It's great how we all come together as a nation.
Channeling communal grief through pageantry, and with son King Charles and his sons walking behind that coffin, a sense of continuity. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
In Missouri, the Friends of the UK caucus has reached out to King Charles III in condolence and also to reestablish the relationship. The caucus is only a year or so old and was created to bolster trade relations with the United Kingdom. Derek Greer is head of the caucus.
We're in many conversations with high-level officials over in the United Kingdom to find ways to make it easier for our two countries to do business together. For us to partner in different ways in new capacities.
Protesters want answers on jail deaths in downtown St. Louis. KMOX's Kevin Killeen has that story.
The protesters on the steps of the downtown jail, about 30 of them, calling for reform. First, they want an investigation into the causes of death for 6 inmates they say have died here in the past 6 months while in custody. Also, they say they want less harsh treatment for inmates, an end to the use of mace and other chemical agents, and a reliable supply of drinking water. They say some inmates can't even get that.
The largest United Nations General Assembly in recent years will convene in person in New York this week after nearly 2 years of virtual meetings. Correspondent Pamela Falk has more on what President Biden is expected to say.
He's expected to focus on avoiding world war and global hunger, but also there is potentially a global economic downturn. So it's a daunting agenda.
We have an update on St. Louis's demand from Kia and Hyundai to come up with a fix to stop car thefts or face legal action.
Public Safety Director Dan Isom tells KMOX the city has heard back from the manufacturers.
We're still working on it. We have had a response. We are hoping that it would be more immediate fix for owners of those two types of vehicles, but we're still working through the process.
When asked if the companies are willing to provide a permanent fix, Isom says the manufacturers are not receptive to that. Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
The First Mid-Bank and Trust Business Desk, a local company or a hotel company's next project is out of this world.
This won't be a Waldorf Astoria or even a Hilton Garden Inn. Hilton Hotels has been hired to design hospitality suites and sleeping quarters for people in orbit. Lockheed Martin and Voyager Space Holdings are building a private space station called Starlab, and they tell CNBC that Hilton was brought into the project for its design and marketing expertise. Tracy Jonke, Bloomberg Radio.
The Dow from Stifel's down 26 points to 30,795. And right now we've got some debris, 364 East past Arena Parkway. The right lane is closed. We've got the MLK Bridge closed west for an inspection and some construction 270 at I-170. We've got the left lane closed there.
Certainly doesn't feel like September, but boy, we can get this from time to time in September. The next 3 afternoons, quite hot. Partly to mostly sunny skies. 95 this afternoon, 96 the record from 1955. Tonight, clear skies, very warm this evening. 69 for the low. Tuesday, hottest day of the week, sunny. 99 on Tuesday, 97 the record from 2017, so that should fall. Wednesday, still hot, 93, but short of the record of 97 from 1881. And how about this for a flip? Thursday and Friday, partly sunny and much cooler. Thursday and Friday's highs, 70 to 75 degrees. Hang on. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray for the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Right now, it's a partly cloudy sky, 88 in Florissant, 91 in St. Peters, 89 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Sponsored by Mosby Building Arts.
Mosby Building Arts here, suggesting everyone stand back and take a good hard look at your front door. Is it lacking curb appeal? Could a thief easily break in? Is it so old it's falling apart? If you answered yes to any of these questions, give Mosby Building Arts a call for a front door makeover.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
105 on the show. Chris Ranji, Kevin Wheeler here. Amy will be back in a couple of days, still on vacation. Ranji, Amy was mountain climbing. Like she scaled a rock face.
Did she?
You saw the pictures?
Oh, yeah. I saw
She
that.
sent them to us.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know she was going to do that.
Oh. Well, when Amy's on vacation from us, I'm on vacation from Amy.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not. I'll look at the photos when she gets back.
I mean, she texted them to us.
Yeah.
And at least one of us replied with, "Wow, that's pretty cool."
That wasn't me.
Yeah, that was not you. That
I
was
think
me.
I think I swiped right. Is that the bad one? What's the bad one? Is it swipe left or right? Which is the one where you reject it?
It was a text, not Tinder.
Yeah, I rejected the text.
So the text, if you want to delete it, you go, well, I don't know. You have an Android, so I have no idea what you do on an Android
to
delete it. I know on the iPhone, you slide it to the side and you bleep, hit delete.
Yeah. Well, I didn't delete. I just
You just ignored.
I said, you know what? You'll be back Wednesday. We'll talk then.
You're such a jerk. The pictures
I didn't
were
start
pretty cool.
sending her photos of me on an airplane.
I will say this. This is the last tease we'll do, and we'll tease Amy about this when she comes back. But she sure does a lot of exercising on vacations.
Yeah, she really does.
I like to chill on vacations. She's climbing mountains and running with new groups of people in
Do you think
Florida.
do you think they have run clubs up in the mountains?
I'm sure they do.
She probably found one.
Run with all the mountain goats.
Oh, you might as well.
Yeah. They can handle altitude, though.
The
Anyway,
mountain goats. By the
glad
way,
she's having
the
fun, by the
mountain
way.
goats climbing up walls
So great.
that are steep. They are. The mountain goat might be the most impressive animal on the planet.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far, but
They have no business being able to do what they can do.
I might say underrated.
Super underrated.
Yeah, skill.
Yeah.
Dexterity.
Great point.
Speed.
Yep.
Balance.
Yeah.
All the things you want.
They're just unbelievable.
Yeah, pretty great.
I'd like to come back as a mountain goat.
Yeah. You're already a goat, dude. You're already
Thank you.
You're already halfway
Thank you
there.
so much. Thank
No,
you.
The lowercase letters, not the GOAT.
That's not what you meant.
No, you're almost there though. You're kind of grumpy.
Speaking of old people, isn't that where you were going next?
I mean, that wasn't where I was going. It's where we were going
Oh.
next. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the simple version of it is this. The president says it's too early to decide whether or not to seek re-election.
Look, if I were to say to you, I'm running again, all of a sudden a whole range of things come into play that I have requirements I have to change and move and do.
In terms of election laws.
In terms of election laws. And it's much too early to make that kind of decision. I'm a great respecter of fate. And so what I'm doing is I'm doing my job. I'm going to do that job. And within the time frame that makes sense after this next election cycle here, going into next year, make a judgment of what to do.
Okay. Can everybody do that, please? Can we just not?
Yeah.
Can we just not? That's my this is what, I have several areas of things I like to beef about. People now know I beef about royalty. I beef about like rich dudes that don't really care about the rest of us. Rich dudes are fine, just as long as you're not a total jerk about it. This is another one. Non-stop campaigning. It never stops. We are now on a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week cycle when it comes to the next presidential election, constantly. We're 2 years out. Why should we even be asking these questions? Why would anybody need to declare they're going to run for president 2 years in advance? I mean, go back to any recent election. Was anybody really talking about Donald Trump in 2014?
Well, no.
Or Obama
No.
in 2006?
I think when he gave that speech at the Democratic convention, what year was that? 2004, if I remember right. I think it was 2004.
People were like, okay, this guy's one to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
But like the favorites,
right,
as listed 2 years before a presidential election, are generally not the people that end up there 2 years later.
I will say the difference here is because of his age, as soon as he took office, the questions started about whether or not he was going to make it through 2 terms or whether or not he was going to get done with his first term and then run again for a second. So I think in that regard, that question does have to be asked of him because we haven't heard him talk about it definitively. No, I mean, you've heard other people say for him, well, he fully intends to run. And then you hear people within his own party like Tim Ryan from Ohio, who just a week or 2 ago was another person. And there was a, we've heard from at least a couple now over the last month or 2 who have said they would prefer new leadership, younger leadership. And I think there are a lot of people in the Democratic Party who feel the exact same way, that maybe we should move to or transition to somebody who is a little bit younger here and start taking the country in that direction. And I totally get that. I don't think this is the guy I want to run. I think depending upon who the opponent is, there's a likelihood he'll get my vote anyway, but it's not my preference. This isn't, if they had to pick anybody, I don't think this would be my number 1. I'm not even sure it's even in my top 10, but I think a lot of the party is in agreement with that sentiment that they want to move on from him. But there's also a lot of doubt whether or not he's going to try.
It's so frustrating.
It is. Well, I mean, it is because you want the election cycle. I want it to last at most 5 months.
You know,
I want the election.
There are places around the world where they say you can only campaign for 3 months leading up to an election.
That's what we should have.
And it's mind-numbing and frustrating and endless stupidity, just constantly droning on and on and on about whether or not somebody's going to do something 2 years from now.
Yeah.
I mean, for God's sake, just let it get closer. We don't have to have this decision now. We don't need to know now. I mean, especially when you're talking about his age.
That's
a lot
why
can change in 2 years.
Yes, and that's why the question exists now. I fully understand Scott Pelley asking him directly about it. I think he has to. He's not doing his job if he's not asking.
Yeah, that's true.
You've got to get something from his face. You need to hear Joe Biden say it for himself one way or the other if he's going to come back again. I guess I respect to an extent him saying, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until after these midterms are over, and then we'll talk about it later. Basically is what he's saying. I think I can get down with that. But I'm with you. Generally speaking, this whole cycle every 4 years should be a whole lot shorter.
Well,
I don't need a year and a half of this drawn out stuff.
And I don't mean to pin it all on the people asking the questions either. I mean, we've got people pulling political stunts nonstop because they want to raise their attention level because they're thinking 2 years down the road. Well, you know what? How about just do your job well? How about we just concentrate for a while? Everybody in office, concentrate for a little while on doing your job well instead of what can I do to raise my profile so I can run for president in 2 years?
I agree with you.
So frustrating.
I don't know who would...
I know it's not practical. I know in a real world it's never going to happen. I'm not an idiot. Well, at least I am, but maybe not in this case.
It could be practical. We could do that if we wanted to. If collectively we decided this is how it's going to be, you get 4 months. You can campaign for 4 months. Get it all done. I know you got to fundraise. You have to, but
you can't declare more than a year out. So you can say the year that so let's say the election in 2024, you can't declare until January 1st. It's the first day that you can say I'm officially going to run for president. First time you can do that.
Well, could you wait until the 8th so I can enjoy my first week of the new year?
All right, let's do that.
Because I like New Year's Day.
Yeah. January 8th.
Yeah. And I'm probably going to take off the 2nd. Who knows?
There you go. Let's do that. So we'll go January 8th. And then just spitballing here, but no commercials until 4 months out? 5 months out?
Well, I was going to say 3, but okay.
No rallies until 3 months out?
Oh, God, with the rallies.
No debates until 2 months out?
I'm not voting for this guy because he didn't come to my town. Yeah, he's not allowed to. He can't come to your town for a very long time. Then you can only pick 5. You can pick 5 cities to go to. That's it.
I know.
I'm not doing constant campaigning.
I know it's fantasy world.
Can't we live in a fantasy world for a minute?
I mean, I just find it amazing that we continuously have this, and I say we I mean like all of the country, but certainly I will say I think led by TV news, because they got to have stuff. They got to talk about stuff. You got to debate. You have to argue. Got to keep on feeding the flame, if you will.
You don't have to,
Well,
but
they do.
I mean,
you got 24 hours, Phil.
Figure it out. Do something else. Let's figure it out. You're creative people. You're creating controversy. You're creating anger and outrage. Just figure it out.
They're all pretty good at that.
Oh, God, the outrage machine. Well, I mean, some networks are better than others at the outrage machine, but do something. Do something constructive.
Hey, it'd be some great stuff.
No.
Like enterprise reporting, in-depth reported packages that we used to do. That's no. That costs money, Ron. We can't do that.
Oh, no. Can't send people places.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to The Dave Glover Show and all the news, talk, sports, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
If your business has 5 or more employees and you made it through COVID, you survived a tough couple of years, you could be eligible to receive a payroll tax rebate of up to $26,000 per employee. And this isn't a loan. There's no payback. It's a refund of your taxes. And I know the challenge is getting your hands on it. That is where we can help you out at Innovation Refunds. Go to getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com. The team of tax attorneys they've put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program and have already returned $1 billion to businesses, and they can help you too. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those who took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that saw an increase in sales. To find out if your business qualifies, just go to getrefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, and then answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited amount of time, so you don't want to miss out. Go to getrefunds.com.
Throw on your cowboy boots and get ready to dance. Join Paraquad on September 23rd at Ritz-Carlton Clayton for the Shine the Light Gala event. For more details, go to paraquad.org or contact Anna Corbett at 314-289-4214. Paraquad, we make independence accessible.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Paramount Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Brown. The physicians at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Paramount Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
Hello, my name is Chad with ClaymanGroup.com. I have another happy client of ours that just sold their house as is.
Hey, my name is Tish. I called a real estate agent first. They told me I had to do like 75 things just to prepare my house for sale. I called the Clayman Group and spoke with Chad and his team, and they bought my house when I had to do anything at all.
If you want a simple solution to your real estate needs as well, reach out today. 314-946-9999. 946-9999. ClaymanGroup.com.
This is Corey from Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling, here to tell you about an organization that is near and dear to our company and one we've been proud to sponsor, Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Greater St. Louis Honor Flight flies World War II, Korea, and Vietnam War veterans to Washington, D.C. for free to see their memorials. Greater St. Louis Honor Flight is looking for you. If you know of a veteran, please sign them up for their honor flight. Or if you'd like to lend your support, visit gslhonorflight.org. And for all things heating and cooling, visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Hi there, it's John Hancock for First Mid Bank and Trust. They're a community-focused organization. They put so much money back into the communities where they serve. They've been around for 157 years. If you're looking for a bank, check them out. They got 19 locations here in the greater St. Louis area.
Plenty of small business professionals to work with. They got insurance experts. Whether you're saving for your first home, paying off debt, or planning for retirement, First Mid Bank is the place for you. Go check them out online, firstmid.com. You'll be glad you did.
Hi, this is Steve Butts at the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. This year marks our 60th anniversary serving our clients and friends, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Norbert Butts. As your local independent insurance agency, we've been proud to represent many fine carriers such as Safeco, Travelers, and Progressive. So please give us a call for all your insurance needs. 314-752-2500 or crawfordbutts.com.
Serving St. Louis for over 96 years. KMOX.
All right, it's 120 on the show. Chris Ranji, Kevin Wheeler with you here. Amy Mark Scores will be back in just a couple of days. So, Ranji, you had the pretty big adventure this weekend of going up with the Golden Knights and got to do all of that.
I got to be on the plane watching cool people do cool stuff, and then I just went and landed with the rest of the people.
So what I meant to follow up, though. Like, what happened afterward? Did you just
we went back to the airport. That was it.
So it's like they turned the plane around after all the dudes have jumped out.
They literally dropped those guys off, and then we came back
so you
to
just go land and get in your car. And
to the airport.
Did you just go home at that point?
Did I go home? Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I talked to the pilots for a little bit and to Turbo. Turbo was the guy who was, I forgot what his
kind of like
what his title was. Yeah, kind of
like just making things happen.
Yeah, he was awesome. That guy was great. He does like before they take off, or I think while we're in the air, he does a running like thing and he high fives everybody and he's screaming and everybody's shouting and they were a lot of fun.
So it's like
man.
a sporting event. They were like
they were
like a fired up like college team getting ready to take the field for a big game.
And there was a moment where, and again, we're talking about the Army Golden Knights parachute team, and I rode with them on Saturday.
Did you do any of the cheering and high fiving?
I didn't know the high fives.
Oh, they all had they were like creative.
Yeah, they had like a secret handshake kind of things.
It wasn't like Borat high five.
No, it wasn't like there were guys doing Borat lines though.
Were they?
Yeah, there was some Borat.
Makes me love them.
Yeah, they were.
More.
So, they were joking around the whole time. And at one point, I remember looking down the row. The guys are just kind of like leaning up against the wall of the plane, just like totally relaxed, like nothing. I mean, you guys are about to jump out of this thing.
And I guess if you do it,
I know you do it anything enough, and it's old hat, right? But I remember at one point, Gabriel Cologne, who was on the show with us on Friday, he and the guy across from him, they did their secret handshake because they thought they were going next. And then they did it again. And he said, we did our handshake prematurely. So we had to do a second one to cancel the first one because it's bad omen if you do your handshake too early.
And then you got to do it again to get it.
Then you have to do it again. Yes, you have to do it again to turn it back on and then jump out of the plane.
Okay, so you got to do it 3 times then.
That's right.
So if you go early, you got to shut it down and then start it back up.
And before they all jumped out, they all said, ready, set, and then they jumped.
They don't say go?
They didn't say go. They just jumped. Well, one guy went, woo! As he was out of the plane, he goes, woo! Like that. Those guys were awesome. I loved them.
Oh, man. It's funny just try to like put yourself in the headspace.
Yeah.
Because, again, it's a highly skilled thing, and you do it every day, though. And it isn't like what they're doing isn't like life on the line, dangerous, like like you're in a war zone, like they're trained to do that if it's necessary, but it really hasn't been for a long time. But in this case, it's these things are what seems so crazy to us, are so routine to them that they can do the handshake. Is it like that? By the way, is it like that teacher that had a different handshake for every student? You ever see that video?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Is it like
coming
that,
into class,
like elbows and
yeah, I saw multiple different handshakes. I don't know what if each one had their own or certain groups had theirs. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
But they had all kinds of stuff.
That's cool, man.
Just making jokes. And that I got to tell you, I think I said this earlier, but if I did not, of all the fun jobs I could think of, that's got to be up there. I mean, they look like they have an absolute blast, but they're on point too. I mean, they were constantly assessing and looking out the window before they even jumped. And as I said, we made several passes around Central Field at Forest Park, and they're testing the wind. Like, they don't do anything on a whim. Like, they are constantly assessing and making sure they're doing the right thing. They were awesome.
So you got to go up. Now, again, this is like a casual plane ride for you. I mean, this is nothing crazy, nothing. Would you go up in a fighter jet? Was that something you'd do?
I think so. That one you're going to throw up when it's over.
Maybe.
Our guy Mark Reardon did the Blue Angels flight.
He did.
Months ago.
Yep. I think
and
he's still recovering.
Sick. Yeah.
But that's Mark, though.
Yeah, he got sick. I would be more interested in if I was allowed the opportunity, because the Golden Knights do tandem jumps.
You would do that rather than the fighter jet?
I would rather, yes, I would rather do that.
If you got the choice. So here's the deal. I'm going to present the choice. You can go on a ride along in a Blue Angel, do the stunts and the loops and the fast speed and all that, or you can do the jump with one of maybe with Gabe, with our new friend.
That's okay. I don't know now. That's a really good question.
I'm doing the fighter jet. I want the speed.
I know you want the speed.
I'm a nerd.
You
like
want the
that.
G-force and all that. But
absolutely.
I love,
and I'll take, if it comes along with some puking or passing out.
You'll take that.
I'm done. I'm in. That's it. I want that feel.
Because how often do you really get to go in a fighter jet? You might have one opportunity in your life ever, and I'd say 99% of people don't get that chance.
I could book a chance to jump out of a plane anytime I want.
Right, but you don't get a chance to do it with guys like that.
No, you do not.
That's a great question. I watched a video of Vince Vaughn did a jump with the Golden Knights at the air shows probably like 10 years ago. And I didn't know he had done it, but he did a jump with them, a tandem jump at the air show in Chicago, and they landed on the beach. And I thought, as high up as they were, because they had a videographer filming the entire thing, and they were really high up. We only got up about 6,500, 7,000 feet, but you can go up to about 12 or 13,000 and jump from there. And it looked like that's what they did, because he fell through clouds on the way down. That would be a thing. To fall from that far up, I don't know. That's a tough call.
Let me throw one more at you.
Really tough call.
One more at you. We don't have a lot of time, but one more at you. If we were to offer a third choice.
Okay.
Go up on a rocket into space.
Oh, I think I got to take that one.
Me too.
That's space, bro.
I know. No, I'm trying to debate, though, because obviously there you're going to experience the G-force, the speed.
Yeah.
But you're not necessarily going to experience the maneuvering, the upside down and the turning and all that. I don't know. But I got to say, space would probably be the choice.
Space.
Yeah.
A lot more things I feel like could go wrong in space.
That's true.
But it's probably the most dangerous of all of it, just because it's space. And to get up there, it takes so much. It'd be the most rewarding, because at any party, and this is a joke that I'm stealing from somebody else, but they said it's the ultimate trump card at any party. What did you do? Oh, you climbed a mountain? I went to space.
You'll never lose.
How's your mental health? It affects our home life, work life, and relationships. But you are not alone. Please join us for Odyssey's I'm Listening special, a timely 2-hour national mental health conversation. Hear from some of the biggest names in music and sports, insights from trusted mental health professionals, and of course, your stories. It's okay to not be okay. For more, visit imlistening.org.
I'm Listening, here at Thursday, September 22nd at 8 p.m. I'm Listening on KMOX and the Odyssey app.
Hey, KMOX listeners, Roger Wigginton here at Don Rogers Limited, 6727 West Main in Belleville. Well, if the early fall sales are any indication of how the rest of the season is going, it's going to be wonderful. Our customers are really responding to our wonderful selection, great styling, fabulous fabrics, and they are coming in every day checking out the new fall lines. And gals, I got to tell you about our Fine Whale corduroy pant that we just got in 5 colors from Tribal, European pull-on waist, great colors. The fit is unbelievable, and it works back with our great selection of sweaters that we have from Charlie B, Lulu B, Renoir, Tribal, and Ethel. The store looks absolutely incredible. We're getting new arrivals every day. We've got all the latest stylings. So as always, we invite you to stop by Don Rogers Limited. We're open Monday through Saturday, 9:30 to 4. Park at the door, walk in, get waited on. As always, we thank you so very much for listening to our commercials.
This time of year, you might notice that the brick in your patio is going astray. Call Morelli. Hi, this is Charlie Brennan for Morelli Tuck Pointing, which has won every award possible in this industry, including the Better Business Bureau Torch Award, which is only given to companies with exceptional customer service. Morelli Tuck Pointing is the masonry specialist, serving St. Louis and beyond for 31 years. Morelli can do completely solid houses and buildings, spot pointing with color match, brick and stone repair, foundation repair, walkways, porches, patios, caulking, waterproofing solutions, and much more. Family owned and operated, and a lot of longtime employees that are like family. Call and request a free and quick estimate at 314-645-1387 or online at MorelliTuckPointing.com. And don't forget to check out their great reviews on the Google and Better Business Bureau websites. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
At 1:30, it's a sunny sky and 91 degrees now downtown at the Arch. This just in, a strong earthquake shakes central Mexico. There's no immediate word on damage. It's a 7.4 preliminary magnitude, and the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center has issued a tsunami alert for Mexico. Britain and the world said farewell to Queen Elizabeth II with pomp and pageantry. Crowds massed in the streets of London and at Windsor Castle to honor the monarch whose 70-year reign defined an era. The stop-and-start effort to redevelop the massive Jefferson Arms building downtown may be facing another roadblock. The Carpenters Union is suing, saying developer Altera Worldwide defaulted on $700,000 in loans to the union that the union made to the company. Our forecast for this afternoon is going to be hot with a high of 96 degrees. Real feels around 100. Clear and warm overnight, the low 75. Tomorrow, hot and humid, blazing sunshine with a high of 98. And real feels again about 100 degrees. Right now, we've got 91 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Charging a cell phone can be like getting a booster shot. A booster is given to enhance or restore protection after a primary series vaccination, which wanes over time. Schedule an appointment when you are eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
Whether you're looking to fill low spots in your lawn, backfill that new retaining wall, or mulch your trees and flower beds, St. Louis Composting has the compost, soil, or mulch you need to help your plants and garden look its very best. Visit our website, stlcompost.com, for more information.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Hello, I'm John Rooney. Do you have an old car taking up room in the driveway? Repairs are costly, it's a hassle to sell? Well, here's an idea. Donate it to Goodwill. Donating a car to Goodwill is quick and towing is free, plus you'll get a tax receipt. It's easy. You can even donate online. So dig out the title for that old car and visit mersgoodwill.org to donate online or call MERS Goodwill at 314-241-3464. Give hope, give local, give Goodwill.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. This year, Banner Construction is working on the back deck at the Brennan household, and this now marks the 6th time on over 2 different homes that Banner has helped the Brennan household, and they can help you too if you give them a call at 314-569-1050. If you'd like your home to be the neighborhood showcase, or if you just have an exterior renovation that needs some serious attention, Banner Construction has the equipment and the craftsmen with more than 25 years of experience. They also carry the top products, including that James Hardy fiber cement siding. Banner is a James Hardy elite preferred contractor, and that James Hardy siding has the rich look and feel of wood. That's why it's preferred by so many luxury home builders. Then there are those Pella windows. Believe it or not, they come with a 30-year guarantee. No other product or service offers that. And Banner is a platinum certified Pella window contractor. That's Banner Construction at bannerconstruction.com.
Swing and a miss for a Redbird winner. Your St. Louis Cardinals are seeking yet another Central Division championship.
The magic number is 8.
KMOX is Cardinals Radio.
Hi, back on the show. Chris Ranji, Kevin Wheeler with you. Amy Markscore's on vacation. She will be back in a couple of days. I see on our thing, and we've talked about this already. You mentioned we're going to do reboots here, right? Like the reboot that you had to do on your computer today to get it to work.
Oh, I did a reboot. No, not that kind of reboot.
No,
not the.
Because I was thinking that would probably be a boring thing to talk about.
Well, that's called a restart.
Oh,
they call it restarting now.
Oh, okay.
If something's not working, the first thing you do is restart And if you were more comfortable,
and then you power cycle.
yeah, if you're more comfortable with rebooting, then you can call it rebooting. Generally speaking, though, how do you feel about reboots? Because when I mean it in the sense of movies or television shows that were one time successful or not successful, and then remaking them.
Like completely reimagining them.
Redoing them, new cast.
As an example, all of the different versions of Batman. All of those are reboots.
Yep,
right?
Spider-Man.
So from Spider-Man as well. So all of the different versions, from the Michael Keaton version of Batman to
go Adam West.
Adam West
to Michael Keaton
to what's his name? George
Val
Clooney
Kilmer
did
and
it.
Clooney.
Val Kilmer.
I love Val Kilmer.
He's the best.
And Christian Bale, and then Robert Pattinson.
See, I don't mind reboots as long as you're not trying to basically imitate what came before. If there's a difference or a slight difference, I think it's better that way. Or if you're telling a different story. What does drive me crazy about some reboots, Ron, is when they got to retell the origin story over. Like, okay, look, we know what happened with Batman. We know how he became Batman. We know what happened to his mom and dad. We don't need to see that in the opening sequence of the next Batman movie. We know what happened.
Well, and that's what they avoided with the Robert Pattinson
That's exactly
Batman.
right. And that's what made me like
They
it.
didn't do backstory.
Now,
he was already
obviously,
established when the movie starts.
a lot of this depends on to me, the universe that you're dealing with, right?
Yes.
So in the comic book universe, you got a lot of stories to tell. There's a lot of leeway. The characters can be different. There's a lot of ways to go with it. So like you've seen the different versions, right? The Michael Keaton Batman was not the dark and troubled Batman. Neither was the George Clooney, really neither was the Val Kilmer. First time we got a little bit of that was Christian Bale, but then we got even more of that with Robert Pattinson. I think as long as you have those differences, I'm cool with the idea of reboots. You know, I think the Spider-Man movies, they're not all good, but some of them have been okay. And the last one, I think Tom Holland does a nice job as Spider-Man. He's supposed to be a young kid. He plays that way. He comes across that way. I think you can do them as long as A, you're putting the budget in it to make sure it's good, and B, you're not copying what came before, but putting a different spin on it.
So now it's interesting you say that, because I thought you would be more of an anti-reboot guy. And the reason I thought of it this time was just a few days ago, St. Louis's very own Scott Bakula. You know Scott Bakula?
I do.
He grew up here in the area.
I don't know him, but I know who he is.
It was a Kirkwood High School, I think.
Okay.
And Scott Bakula played Dr. Sam Beckett in a show in the 80s called Quantum Leap.
I've never seen an episode of Quantum Leap.
So I really liked it. My dad and I used to watch it. We liked it. And the concept
But you were
of
fairly young, right?
Yeah, grade school, junior high, somewhere in there.
Okay.
And the concept of the show is they're working on, I guess, time travel, and they make a mistake, and he leaps into the body of somebody else and overtakes their body for a while.
But it looks like him on camera.
It looks so he sees whatever that person. So like I quantum leap into your body and I control Kevin Wheeler for a while.
Frightening.
Yeah. And when I look in the mirror, I see Kevin Wheeler.
Yeah.
But then I'm you, and I don't know anything. All I know is my own life. I don't know anything that Kevin Wheeler's going, and he has to kind of figure out who is this person, what's his deal, what do people want from him. Then he has to correct some wrong.
What if he jumps into an awkward moment?
Oh, he did it all the time, Kevin.
Oh, really?
That was the whole concept of the show.
And
the beginning of the show, every week he would leap into somebody, and then he would figure out he's in a weird place, and he'd say, "Oh boy." Like, "Oh boy" was his tagline. Okay. He'd do that every show. And then he would have to correct something that went wrong in that person's life. And as soon as he would fix the problem, he would leap into somebody else.
So why did he have to fix that person's problem?
I don't know.
Like, was it because it's a
I think it had something to do with God.
Oh.
I don't know.
was
But
just
anyway,
wondering if it was like there's a problem in his universe, like his world, and he's trying to fix that.
I can't remember. I'm not going to give, unless if maybe somebody goes out and buys the Quantum Leap DVDs.
No spoilers
to
on
watch.
the 80 TV,
I'm not going to
80s TV
spoil Quantum Leap for you, but I do think it had something to do with God in the end.
Spoil the 80s TV show.
So he was tweeting last week about the Quantum Leap reboot that is coming out, and he declined to be in it. because his character was in it, and they were going to have him come back. I don't know if this show is going to be any good at all, but the trailer did come out this month. It is a whole new thing. It's a whole new thing. It's going to be on NBC like it was on NBC previous. But this one, I don't mind reboots generally. I think you hear a lot of people complain about them, and they say things like, oh, come up with some new ideas, do something else, do something good. My response to that is there's a lot of really new, great stuff out there already. There are a lot of people creating a lot of new, good content, new, good shows, new platforms to watch those shows on. There is no shortage of original ideas in television. So I think that idea is overplayed. I think when people complain about it,
I think it's more of a movie thing. Because I agree with you. On TV, there's a lot.
There
we have
are
a ton of choices.
Netflix movies. There are Prime movies. There are other avenues besides just going to a theater to watch a film. I think there's plenty out there. I don't think that we are in a shortage of original ideas on television or movies. So I'm perfectly okay with the reboots. Just do them right. Just
spend the resources on it, get the people that can play the characters, and again, make it somehow distinguishable from the original. Because if you're just trying to copy the original, it doesn't work.
Yeah, and this one, for whatever reason, I just don't. I saw the I saw the trailer for Quantum Leap. It just looks like better visuals. It looks like new.
Okay. Well, that's another reason, by the way, to reboot something is you can do something with modern technology.
Right.
So, for example, the musical version of this is remastering. Right, you might take a song older and you do it up the new way, and you can fix things that you maybe couldn't have fixed back in the day, and it sounds a little bit more like things sound now.
Yeah, so it would probably be more, at least visually appealing. But there are a couple things with this one. First of all, Sam Beckett's not going to be in the show. Dean Stockwell died, so he's not going to be in the show, and he played Al, and he was really good at that role. But also, I feel like network shows, for the most part, ABC, CBS, NBC, those shows aren't good anymore. They're not as good. You can't make a show on NBC as well as you can make it on Netflix or on Hulu, if it's strictly on Hulu, or Prime, because you have too many restrictions to what you can and cannot do. So I don't think the show can be as good. And a lot of times I feel like there's a lot of cheese in the primetime shows on the major networks.
That's why I don't watch them.
So, yeah, there's not. I can't think of, other than Ghosts, which is on CBS and I think is kind of adorable. Other than that show, there's really not a primetime major network show that I like or watch. There just isn't. They're not as appealing to me as the stuff you can do on Netflix.
Yeah.
Or HBO.
Other than sporting events, there's nothing I watch on networks.
Yeah. I'm right there with you.
And again, I didn't decide, I hate the networks, I'm not going to do that. It's just that over time, I've just found myself not going there because the stuff I like is in other places.
A texter says to us, the perfect movie, Heaven Can Wait, with Warren Beatty. Ugh. I feel like I've seen Heaven Can Wait.
You probably have. I mean, I don't know that I've ever watched. I don't know that I've ever watched it all the way through. I probably was when I was a kid. I was probably in the room when my parents were watching it or something. It's a 70s movie, I think.
Heaven Can Wait. Is that the one with I don't know.
He can die. The main dude dies.
And
then, yeah. And then I guess he's.
Oh, they did make a remake of that, right?
Oh, they did? I actually think the one from the 70s was the remake.
Oh, okay.
I think it was the reboot.
I got you. Well, there was one from what, like the 40s or something?
1943, apparently, according to IMDb.
Okay.
Although they're slightly different takes, I guess, because according to the old one, the first line is, an old roue arrives in Hades to review his life with Satan, who then goes on and on about that. And then the other one is Los Angeles Rams quarterback.
What?
Accidentally taken away from his body by an over-anxious angel before he was meant to die.
Oh, no. That's a hell of a mistake.
Yeah, and he has to return. He returns in somebody else's body, I guess.
Oh.
And then they somehow have to sort out the confusion.
Now, that would be, what do you call customer service on that? Like, what do you do to resolve a problem like that?
How do you complain about an angel?
I don't know. Well, if an angel takes you away from your life and you weren't supposed to go yet, I think you'd have a case.
Right, but who do you? I mean, you going straight to the big man?
Well, there's got to be a lawsuit of some kind.
But there's does he have a supervisor? Like,
yes,
like
I think it's
you go all Karen, like, I need to talk to the supervisor. Who
yes,
is it?
I
Is
think
it
it's
like Gabriel.
I don't know.
Archangel Michael.
Well, you have to go up the whatever the what do they call it? The chain of command.
Right.
You have to go through that first. Somebody's got to be in charge.
Oh, and he returned to life in the body of a recently murdered millionaire.
Whoa. But the guy was dead.
Well,
I can tell you this right now.
But
I will never watch this movie.
They made Heaven wait, which is
Heaven wait?
No, they made it wait. It can wait.
Oh,
I got
okay.
stuff to do. It can wait.
I'll tell you what.
It gets good reviews. Like people, it's not like a tanked movie or like a panned movie. It's, it's people think it's decent.
If they remake the Heaven Can Wait remake, I'll watch that.
Do a reboot of the reboot.
I got to see
Hey, I can't even. You can't make fun because they've done a reboot of Spider-Man and Batman
and the longer Spider-Man and Batman go on, the better they get. I think
they kind of have, haven't they?
Yeah.
Although I don't think that the Robert Pattinson one was better than the Christian Bale one.
It was different,
but it was as good. I think
it was different. It was. I think it ended up being as dark as the Dark Knight movies were trying to be.
Yeah,
and maybe darker.
Yeah.
But it had a very.
We had a little emo Batman.
You know what it had? It had a very graphic novel feel to it.
Yeah.
That's how I
less
saw
comic, less straight up comic book.
Yes. I really liked it. I didn't think I would, but I really liked Robert Pattinson.
Again, you got to get the main character right, I think, for all of these. Whoever ends up in the main role has to be able to pull it off. And it's not an easy thing. I mean, we're talking comic books, but it's going to be a tougher thing for that, I think, than just a regular TV show because people have such an attachment to those comic book universes, the Star Wars universe, for example.
I'll say I have an attachment to Quantum Leap. Can we get Scott Bakula on the show?
Make a call.
Somebody reach out to Scott Bakula. Have him text us 314-436-7900. If you're Scott Bakula, text the show.
I'm here for Pioneer Brand Seeds, a block away from another ag company's corporate office. This company concentrates their breeders here in one centralized location. That's not how Pioneer works. Our breeders are located where their test plots are. That way, Pioneer corn breeders gain insights about what does and doesn't work for a local geography in real time. Ask your local Pioneer sales representative about field-proven Pioneer brand corn hybrids. And like our breeders, they're located near you.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
That's AMCO, AA, MCO.
Hi, this is Kent Newbold for Newbold BMW. We just celebrated our 35th year as a BMW dealer by finishing our multi-million-dollar renovation. So come see it. It's Newbold BMW in O'Fallon, Illinois, or newboldbmw.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
I'm sure that you've felt the shift in the real estate market and have wondered how it will affect you. Is it time to buy or is it time to sell? What are your options? Hi, I'm Christina Straight with Straight Realty. Give us a call and we can discuss a strategy that works for your individual needs in this ever-changing market. Quality and experience at a more affordable rate. Why pay more than $4? 314-441-4444. 314-441-4444.
Free Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Eileen talks about her experience with 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
A lot of gross kitchen in the beginning, crack formica, bad floor, ripped linoleum, and I decided to heck with this. I want it done. And I found an ad from 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. I called him. Dave brought all of his stuff. We talked about what I wanted. I chose the materials. It was very easy. He came in. He did what he said. They did it in the time frame that they said, at the cost that they said. His crew was delightful. We came home. Everything had been cleaned up. I would say people are silly not to do 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. I just love it. It's just like I moved into a new home.
It's about time.
3 days or less
at 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Paramount Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Brown. The physicians at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Paramount Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now. 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
Right now is the perfect time to call Zero Res to deep clean and refresh your carpets, air ducts, upholstery, and more. Call 314-474-2020 to get 3-room Zero Res clean starting at just $129 and take $75 off your air duct cleaning. ZeroResSTL.com.
Get started with the Vision Walk today and form your Vision Walk team to raise money for a cure. For more information, go to visionwalk.org or call 314-852-7223.
Make sure your home's heating and cooling system is in shape for the season with a community trusted service from Scott Lee Heating. Get exclusive savings on a new Lennox system. Call 314-756-9444 today or at scottleeheating.com. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Stress and anxiety reactions following disasters can be challenging. If you were impacted by the recent floods, show me hope because help is available. Find resources and local providers at moshowmehope.org. Brought to you by the Missouri Department of Mental Health.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
You know that new sound you're looking for? Well, listen to this.
The show on KMOX.
All right, DGS coming up at the top of the hour. No baseball tonight. Cardinals off. This is a travel day. John Rooney was on Total Information AM this morning with Joe Pod. Mentioned today's the travel day. They will play the Padres tomorrow night with Adam Wainwright getting the start against Mike Clevenger. And, of course, we'll be looking forward to a lot of things. You know, how is the race shaping up? What opportunities does Albert have this week? You know, I mentioned 5 current lefties scheduled. Doesn't mean it's going to work. The matchups don't always go that way, but the way he's hit lefties, Ron, really since he left the Angels and got to the Dodgers has been phenomenal. So I think we got a chance this week to see 700 this week. I know we'd all love to see it at home. That would be better. But,
right. Just get it if you can get it.
Yeah, I had somebody ask me about that recently. Like, you think if he gets to 699, they hold him out? Like, no chance.
Although it would be no, definitely not. You give him every opportunity.
You only got 3 more home games the rest of the season.
So
we're not playing games for that.
No, but maybe on isn't October 2nd the final home game of the season, and then they still have another 3 game. Yeah.
So they play Pittsburgh Friday, Saturday, Sunday here, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday there.
You know what? It's going to happen on October 2nd.
Wouldn't that be great?
It probably will.
I mean, this whole storybook thing, you keep saying it, right? Like, if you had predicted any of this stuff in spring training with just the storybook nature of all of it, like we knew that Waino and Yachty would break that record for most starts if they were just healthy. Like, if nobody missed most of the year, they were going to break that. They didn't need that many to do it. But when you kind of combine it all and then throw in Albert just being as great as he's been and pushing 700, this storybook stuff is like, It's silly. There's no way you would have believed it.
Okay. I'm going to make a distinction here because one of my least favorite tropes in the world is when people say, if they would have written this in Hollywood, it would have been rejected because it's ridiculous.
I said that last week, so you hate me.
Yeah, I don't like this. And
Damn
here's
it,
why.
Ron G.
Because it's Hollywood. I could totally believe a Hollywood director or a house going, yeah, that's okay. We could do that movie. But if you're saying that nobody would have predicted the reality that this actually happened, then yeah, that's totally true. Because our discussions about Albert, when the news broke that he was coming back here, when those discussions happened, it was how long is he going to be productive for them this year, if at all? It wasn't going to be, is he chasing 700 late in September? That's not what we were talking about. We were just hoping
it was how many at-bats we'll even get.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, is this going to be done by June or July? Is it, how is it going to end? Is he going to make it all the way through the season? And it's not for any other reason than Albert is getting up there in age. And at some point, you just can't do it anymore. And it's nothing about your ability or how good you used to be. It's just your body says, no, you're done being good. It happens to literally every single player in the history of sports. So it wasn't about that. It was just about, is he going to be able to maintain any kind of production throughout the year? Not how much production is he going to give you? Is he going to keep helping you win games? And is he going to hit 700 here with 2 weeks left to go, 2.5 weeks left to go? And the answer is, yeah, he might. And maybe the answer is probably. Because now we're talking about, we're only 2 of them away.
Yeah.
So now you're talking about, like, how much past 700 does he get? That's a real idea. Like, it's very possible he gets to like 702 even. Maybe he ends up with 698. That could be the end. But I doubt it. I get the feeling some magic's going to happen here in the last 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. There's a lot of time.
Hey, on that same note, just to finish because it's a good, you make a great point. I got to give the manager some credit for handling the roster well all season long.
That's right.
Not just Albert, but because those were always the questions, right? Like, how is the usage going to be? And we haven't seen a lot of, well, you've been struggling for 2 weeks, but we're going to keep running you out there. When it's time to give someone else a shot, they've been doing a good job of getting people in and out of the lineup. You're struggling, get some time out, work at it, get better, come back in a little bit. So he might be, I don't know if he's going to be the manager of the year, but he's going to be one of the top 2 or 3. Look forward to seeing how that plays out once we get to the end of the regular season. Hey, guys, DGS coming up right after the news here on KMOX.
Are you tired of exposing your retirement to stock market risk? How would you like the potential to participate in credited interest from market index returns and limit the